Good evening, everyone. We welcome you to John Kurtz Field on the campus of Georgia College and State University in Milledgeville. It's time for GC Baseball as the Bobcats wrap up their regular season this weekend by hosting the Rams of Winston-Salem State University. I'm Scott McLeod. Al Weston will be joining us shortly as the Bobcats will close things out at home. I should say the number 8 Bobcats in the nation on the latest two big polls, the National Collegiate Baseball Writers Association and Collegiate Baseball Newspaper poll, both list the Bobcats at number 8 in the country after that 2 out of 3 series victory over the Columbus State Cougars. They knocked the Cougars down a notch or so on a couple of polls as well. And Georgia College, the number 1 team in the Peach Belt Conference, winning the Peach Belt Conference a couple of weeks ago with a 26-4 record in conference action. 36-10 on the regular season overall for Georgia College. You go up against a squad from Winston-Salem State, North Carolina. The Rams are 36, make it 30-17. They've won their last 2 ball games, but having troubles on the road a little bit. The Rams are 5-8 away from North Carolina, but over the last 10 ball games, they've done well. They are 7-3 on their season. And when you talk about Georgia College baseball, as you folks know, it is all about the offense. But it's been some pretty good pitching and some great fielding as well. In the Peach Belt Conference, the Bobcats are the number 1 offensive team in batting average, number 2 in earned run average, and number 1 in fielding percentage. Bobcats have only 30 errors so far this season, and they have done the job defensively on the campaign thus far. They boast a heavy hitting lineup. Bobcats hitting .362 as a team. Not a lot of power, as we've talked about all year long, just 32 home runs on the season. And comparatively, Winston-Salem State has poked out 51 long balls. They're hitting .307 for the year. Both teams are scoring a lot of runs. Bobcats come in with an 8.95 runs per game average. The Rams at 7.3 runs a contest. Georgia College will start Charlie Hecht on the hill tonight. Undefeated Charlie Hecht. He is 10-0 on his campaign, and the leader in the Peach Belt Conference in earned run average at a minuscule 2.04, and that's pretty good in college baseball with the aluminum bats as well. So we've got a good one coming your way tonight. First of the 3-game set. They'll play at 2 o'clock tomorrow. It'll be senior day tomorrow for the Georgia College seniors to be honored here at the Kurtz. Their final chance to play on their home field, unless some things fall our way, which would be really great, as the Bobcats now looking for Peach Belt Conference tournament happenings, which will start on the 11th of this month, I believe. Double check that. Yes, May 11th is when pool play starts down in St. Augustine at Flagler College. Bobcats have already figured out their first 3 ball games in the pool play, so we will pass those along to you as our evening progresses here. And then Sunday we'll wrap up the regular season for the Bobcats. They'll take on these Rams here at the Kurtz, and I believe that's scheduled now for a 1 o'clock first pitch on Sunday. Al Weston with us now. And
yeah, we're making, we had some changes there. The original schedule I had was a 1 p.m. tomorrow and then a noon on Sunday. From now I understand it's going to be the normal weekend schedule for us. Got that 2 o'clock on Saturday and a 1 o'clock on Sunday. I guess it was probably gotten away a church and stuff like that for the guys. Those Sunday ball games are got to push them back a little bit sometimes.
Indeed so. I didn't know if we were pushing it early so Winston-Salem could make that long trip back up to North Carolina.
I know that's a trip. My sister lives in Winston-Salem, right. So I've made that trip more than a few times, and yeah, that's not an easy one to make. So
well, hopefully you'll get a chance to make a trip from Cary, North Carolina to Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Man, you know, the 2010 run, it was a little bit of a surprise for me. I didn't see that one coming, even though we did win the regular season title that year as well, if I remember correctly. But then when we went into the postseason, I think it was Single a Limb up in Aiken or something like that. We got bounced after like 1 game.
Right.
And I'm thinking, oh, okay, well, you know, these guys can't do postseason play maybe. And sure enough, we get that win in Francis Marion, and here we go. You know, I mean, we were a couple outs away from playing for a championship. And, you know, so, I mean, that's this team, though, you look at this and you start to think, you know, like early on they were pounding people into the ground. The last couple of weeks they've started getting this come-from-behind thing going a little bit. So now you know that they can win different styles of games.
Very close games, tight ball games.
Yeah.
They've been able to battle, and as you said, rally. The last game against Columbus last Sunday, they were down 5-0 before the bus got cool.
And you got an ace that doesn't have a single loss yet this year, 10-0 and Charlie Hecht. So I mean, those are the type of things that a team needs in order to make postseason runs. And because you're going to get probably 2 starts out of Hecht next weekend down in St. Augustine, and Trevor Guthrie has improved over the last couple of weeks. You got a guy in Kamak that can eat up some innings. Studdard has done a pretty good job over the last month as well. So I mean the pitching's there, the hitting at times when it'll fade, but then will get just enough to get the job done. So they're winning games when they're not playing their best. All those sorts of things start to push in the right direction. You got yourself a postseason run, right?
We've got the head coaches meeting at home plate with the 2-man umpiring crew. Run through the lineups real quick for you. For Winston-Salem State Rams at 30-17, Randy Norris will lead off and play in center field. John Garcia is batting second, and the left fielder. Batting third and playing in right field is Brandon Ford. Hitting cleanup, their designated hitter, Emilio Abreu. Abreu, excuse me. I had that right, and I screwed it up. Abreu. I had it in my mind. Cole Parks is the catcher. He'll hit 5th. Luke Spiva is the first baseman, hitting 6th. Nicholas Williams is playing at third base and batting 7th. Batting 8th and playing at second base, Rashad Stewart. Wellington Guzman is the shortstop. He'll hit 9th. And a good lefty, Seth Reeves, will be on the mound for the Rams. We'll give you his numbers in just a little bit. So it's Norris, Garcia, Ford, Abreu, Parks, Spiva, Williams, Stewart, and Guzman. For the 8th-ranked Bobcats at Georgia College, it's Matthew Miller getting a leadoff spot today. He'll still play at first base, given big old Matthew, who's had the hottest bat of late. And over the last 10 ball games, he has really stung the baseball, led the team in batting average. He's playing at first base and leading off tonight. Nate Schmall will hit second. Nate with a chance to win the Peach Belt Conference batting average title in the regular season with a good weekend here. Wesley Womack will bat third and play in right field, so Wesley's moving up the lineup. Brandon Purcell will hit cleanup today and catch once again for Georgia College. Logan Maddox hits 5th and plays in center field. Brant Stallings will patrol left field for the Bobcats, hit 6th, batting 7th. The shortstop is Cal Gentry moving down in the lineup. Usually Cal leads off the ball game for the Bobcats, but looks like coach is trying to shake things up and find out if the guys can respond at the top in different parts of the order there. Garrett Green will hit 8th and play at third base, and Caleb Slaughter is the designated hitter today against the lefty. Slaughter hits 9th as the DH, and Charlie Hecht on the hill will give you his numbers in just a second. It's Matthew Miller, Nate Schmall, Wesley Womack, Brandon Purcell, Logan Maddox, Brant Stallings, Cal Gentry, Garrett Green, and Caleb Slaughter, the other 8 position players for the Bobcats. We'd love to have 9 out there. It'd be, have that rover out there.
Get some more outs.
But the way this baseball team's been hitting, we don't need 10 guys, do we?
No, probably not.
So Georgia College will take the field. We're going to have a special first pitch presentation in just a few minutes, and Al will have that for you when we come back after we have our national anthem here at the Kurtz.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please for a special pregame presentation. We have a special guest today at John Kurtz Field, and in turn we will have a special ceremonial first pitch. Today we welcome Dr. Bruce Harshbarger. For 23 years, he has served Georgia College as Vice President for Student Affairs. One of the many things that fall under his umbrella is varsity athletics, and we here in Bobcat Nation would like to thank Dr. Harshbarger for his guidance as he heads into retirement today. We'd like to honor Dr. Harshbarger by having him throw out tonight's first pitch. Dr. Harshbarger, whenever you're ready. All right, looks like a strike to me, folks. It's not just because he writes the checks. One other note we want to have today, after bringing the heat for 23 years as a champion for the Georgia College student, it's time to bring in a relief pitcher for Dr. Harshbarger as well. We welcome our new Vice President for Student Affairs, Dr. Sean Brooks, this evening as well. It's Dr. Brooks' first weekend on the Georgia College campus, and he's taken time out of his busy schedule to join us here on the athletic field. We thank you so much for being a part of our special day. How about another round of applause for both Dr. Harshbarger and Dr. Brooks?
Outgoing and incoming, and that's always nice to be able to pass the torch. And Bruce Harshbarger and Dr. Brooks with the pictures down below. Great job by Bruce over the years, and thanks so much for all he's done for athletics in his role at Georgia College.
Great job by that PA announcer.
Oh,
well.
he was okay. Hey, you got to work hard to impress this old man, okay?
Oh, man, you've heard it all.
I think you read it. You read it extremely well.
I read the thing that I wrote.
You read it and you wrote it, so you done good.
I think I said all the words.
Right. Charlie Heck gets his warm-up tosses in as the senior from Johns Creek and the John Kurtz Award winner this last couple of weeks ago. Also the Bobcat Athlete of the Week and the Pitcher of the Week in the Peach Belt Conference, getting his warm-up tosses in now.
Got to be the lead candidate for Pitcher of the Year in the Peach Belt Conference as well. I just finished his nomination in the old computer system this morning, so fingers are officially crossed. Making his 14th appearance and start. He's got a pair of complete games, including the shutout just last week, 4-hit shutout of our friends over in Columbus in a 4-0 win. 10-0 the record, 2.04 the ERA, 88 in the third innings pitch, 64 hits against him is all, 20 runs, all of them earned. Not a single unearned run.
Isn't that incredible?
That's great defense behind him. How about that? 22 walks to 108 strikeouts as well, so you're looking at like a 5-to-1 ratio there, which is just amazing. And opponents hitting only 201 against the Johns Creek Monster, and that's something with those metal bats. You get down around a batting average of 200, you know you're missing some bats.
He has definitely been missing bats. Indeed so. Charlie Hecht with 78 flyouts, 71 groundouts in addition to all of those Ks, and he leads the conference in strikeouts coming in. We'll get you his numbers. I ran through some stats for the individuals and for the team from the Peach Belt Conference, and lots of impressive numbers put up by Georgia College, hitting, pitching, and defensive-wise. Getting ready for first pitch tonight as we open up the three-game set against the Rams of Winston-Salem State University. We'll welcome in the viewers for the Rams. And getting it going is their leading hitter, Randy Norris, at .443 for the year. And the first pitch is a little high. We are underway at the Kurtz.
Well, Scott, who better to have at your top of your order than your top batting average guy?
Yep.
I guess that's a great way to do it. We did it last year. Worked out for us.
Check swing. Got a strike called as Norris has 4 homers, 26 runs batted in. Also has 5 doubles and 5 triples. And those triples tie him with teammate Brandon Ford for the lead. Squared up, ran up the bunt, and took a strike on the outside edge. And the count quickly 1-2 on Randy Norris.
Scott, Winston-Salem, like you mentioned, 30-17, only 5-8 on the road. Not
yes,
a whole lot of
road contests.
And a losing record there on the road as well. But they do hit it pretty well at .307.
Hung a curve at Hecht, and it was banged into center field as Norris collects a knock to start the ball game. So John Garcia will stand in, a .347 batting average for the left fielder. Garcia with 4 homers as well, 28, and make it 26 runs batted in for the season, slugging .594, an OBP of .485.
Norris got to worry about him on the base paths as well. Team leader with 33 stolen bases, only been caught 4 times so far this season.
He's almost got 3 times as many as the runner-up in stolen bases for these Rams. Healthy lead at first. First pitch is the slider, outside corner, and a dandy one. He's got that nasty slider working already. And let's hope that'll continue on throughout the course of this one.
100 steals as a team for Winston-Salem State compared to 90 for Georgia College, if that gives you an idea. A little bit of a running team because I feel like we will pull the trigger on a stolen base attempt from time to time.
Fastball outside corner at the knees, and the count quickly goes to 0-2 on John Garcia. Bobcats in their home whites, the green pinstripes, the green numbers as well. Charlie with the set. And readies the 0-2 offering to Garcia. It's up high, didn't chase the fastball around the cap bill. And it's 1-2.
Running against Purcell, 24 stolen bases in 31 attempts. So he's cut down, what would that be, 7? Right?
7 of them. Good math. They teach that well up there.
Yeah, up there at Kent State. Big day for Kent State University today. Got May 4th, which is the anniversary of the shootings back during the Vietnam War.
I thought you were going to say it was big in a positive
fashion,
no,
but I mean,
no,
it's one of those things that, is a huge part for that campus, kind of a big piece of their identity.
Yep. 1970 shootings by the National Guard. Ground ball to the right side. It skips off the shoulder of Schmall, and everybody's safe.
Okay,
that was a shot to his left.
There. It took a tough hop that came up into his shoulder there. I feel I can't give Schmall an error there. That's tough.
That was a rocket at him, too. It skipped off the glove and caromed up off the left shoulder and ricocheted to his left side. So Schmall couldn't hold it, and Charlie Heck's got a pitch out of a mess in the first inning already. And he will face Brandon Ford with a .323 batting average. Third highest on the squad in homers with 8. He's driven in 47 runs, and that is a team high. First lefty that Heck will face. Green on the edge of the grass at third, and the first pitch is popped up short right field, playable for Womack, and he will camp under it and make the grab, the tag, and the throw back to second. Offline a little bit, not much of a chance to get Norris as Heck gets the first out. Ford jumped on the first pitch and skied it, tried to jack it out of Kurtz, but came up short.
Yeah, it's a rally killer right there. You want to make at least a productive out if you're Ford in that situation and move runners along. Can't even pull that off. Got to drop that back shoulder trying to make the big 3-run bomb. Didn't quite get to him.
Emilio Abreu will be up. He is their DH in this contest. Hecht with his first pitch. Purcell had a notion to throw down to second. Good lead down there by Norris. Abreu, the second Ram above 400 for the season at .402, and he leads second highest in home runs with 9, and he's driven in 38 runs. This will be his 35th game appearance and 33rd start. Norris with a little dance out there, and Hecht will turn and stare him back toward the bag. And time as Coach Eller comes out of the dugout very quickly. Heck may not be all that comfortable out there tonight.
Well, I think this is maybe a talk defensively about what they're faced with here. Got that runner on second, and he's an aggressive one, as we mentioned, with 33 steals already this season. That's just in 46 ball games.
Fortunately, we don't have to count mound visits like they do in the big boys league, right?
Yep, because this would be burning one pretty early.
Yep.
And Coach Eller came out of the dugout quick. It wasn't a. He had a point.
Right.
He wanted to get across there. It was going to be a brief conversation. Pointed at, I believe it was Schmall, briefly in what he was saying there. So there might be a play on here. We'll have to see. That first pitch to Abreu looked like it might have been an attempt at a pitch out almost.
Fly ball center field. Back on it, tracking back is Maddox. Has he got room? Yes, he does. He's right at the track. Makes the catch. Here's the tag at third, and Norris will advance 90 feet. Abreu gave it a ride, but hit it to the deepest part of the ballpark at 400 feet here at the Kurtz. That's one thing I missed this year is we don't have the signage for the distance to the fences.
Yeah, it's a little deceptive, too, with the chain link out there now. You don't know quite if he's getting close to that track or not. I mean, it was a solid, backdrop in in years before. But yeah, that you got a pretty good charge into that one. I think if he pulls it or hits it to the opposite field, that's up over the fence.
So 2 down with runners at the corners now, and Cole Parks, the catcher, will stand in for his first at bat today. And the first pitch down low, smothered nicely by Brandon Purcell. Cole Parks, a .330 batting average. He's left the park 4 times this season with 29 runs batted in.
Absolutely wonderful mane of hair coming out of the back of Cole Parks' helmet. I mean, that is just voluminous. It's very nice.
Next pitch is over but low, and it's 2-0.
He's been working on that for a while.
I would imagine
tell,
so, yeah. Well, in this Middle Georgia heat this weekend, he's going to be feeling it.
Yeah, that's a lifestyle choice right there.
Yeah,
you got to take the good and the bad.
Especially if you're a catcher, you got all the gear on.
Oh my, that's a good point. I wonder if he's a man bun guy. What does he do during regular days? You know.
Well, he gave a hefty cut at that one and came up empty.
I mean, what is everyday Cole Parks? You know, what is it going to class up there in North Carolina?
Looks down to his third base coach, see if there's a play on with a 2-1 pitch due him. Runners at the corners and 2 down. The pitch. Got it on the outside corner. A little delayed call by the home plate umpire, and we got our first deuces wild situation.
That is such a fulcrum there in this at bat. You know, you got that outside edge pitch. If he misses there, now it's a 3-1 count, but instead he comes right back, and now it's 2-2.
Got him on a swing and miss. Cole Parks is the first strikeout victim. Charlie Heck wriggles off the hook in the first inning. And the president comes through. No runs, 2 hits. No errors and 2 runners left on. Bobcats for their first swing of the weekend coming up when we come back on the Bobcat Broadcast Network. Head to the bottom of the first inning at the Kurtz. Matthew Miller will lead off for GC, followed by Nate Schmall and Wesley Womack. And Georgia College will be going up against the lefty to start the contest for the Rams. That's Seth Reeves.
Reeves making his 14th appearance and start. A 3.88 ERA and just a 4-3 record over 13 appearances. So either he doesn't go terribly deep in ball games, or there's they've won some ball games late, perhaps a lot of come from behind type stuff. 72 innings pitched, 68 hits against him, 36 runs, only 31 of them earned, 26 walks to 67 strikeouts. So that's roughly a 3-to-1 type ratio there. Opponent's hitting just .249 against the lefty. And Scott, we've had a little bit of tough time with lefties this year from the hitting standpoint, so not a bad idea to start out with here. It seems like we have trouble winning ball games against guys coming from the left side.
But a team average of 388, so they can hit them pretty well.
Maybe that's just something that's stuck in my brain that isn't actually true. I don't know.
I think you're right,
though. We actually
hit
better against lefties, 388 to 357 against righties. But it seems that, to me at least, that we've struggled against the guys from the left-handed side.
Well, here's a guy who's not struggling at all. Got a 22-game hitting streak for Matthew Miller. He takes it high and outside for ball 1. Miller coming in. Over the last 10 games, has hit .526, 20 hits in 38 at-bats. Getting the job done, and now he's at the top of the lineup, and he takes it inside for ball 2.
Yeah, close one there. Almost got hit by that pitch.
Matthew on the season. A tick above 400, 401, with 6 round trippers and 34 runs batted in. The lefty Reeves deals. It's popped up right side, fire or foul, just barely fair, and tracking it down in the corner is Ford for out number 1. So Miller, opposite field power there, went a little bit further than I thought it was going to go.
Yeah, it looked like he got fooled on the pitch. He swung, kind of late on it. And that's the thing that Miller's going to give you is even when he swings a little bit on the late side, he can, send it near to the warning track down the right field line.
Here's Nate Small, the leading hitter for the Bobcats right now at .416. We mentioned he's got a shot at perhaps winning the regular season batting crown in the Peach Belt Conference. And he looks at a strike on the outside corner. No homers, 26 runs batted in, 5 doubles and 6 triples for Nate Small, who has transitioned into becoming a pretty darn good second baseman for the Bobcats.
Yeah, he's one tick off of the Peach Belt lead in batting average right now.
Oh, my. Holy. 0-2 now, and home plate umpire just took a pitch away from Nate, and he's backing out and rubbing some dirt in there. Yeah, two of the Peach Belt, two of the Pembroke players are at the top of the league at .417.
Yeah, I got a Jacobs and a Jackson, both at .417.
Doesn't go after the high hard one, 1 and 2.
Doesn't look like Pembroke has any action left.
Nope, they're done.
They're
so that's
all
why
set there at .417, so some hits would be able to take that title.
Is officially third in the batting average race right now in the Peach Belt. Change up, hit, and there's a base hit. The leaping second baseman Stewart couldn't come up with a grab, and Nate Small starts off his weekend in the right frame with a base hit.
Well, how about that kind of swing on 0-2? Kind of shortened it up a little bit, but still got pretty good aluminum on that pitch and scooted it right into right field for a single.
Wesley Womack having a pretty good junior year at .390. Couple of home runs, 35 runs batted in. Also 13 doubles on the season for Womack. That puts him tied for 8th in the Peach Belt Conference.
Womack hitting .449 here at home with 22 RBI and 26 runs coming here at the Kurtz.
Might have Schmall picked, and he is going to be thrown out. 1-3-6.
That's actually going to be a caught stealing since he didn't try.
So the second out is a caught stealing. Schmall picked on the first move by the lefty, and Jake Sandlin will file that away. We've got a Rams fan right down below us who enjoyed that pickoff. So bases are clear now for Womack. And the curveball misses outside, 1-0. Womack 5th in hits in the Peach Belt Conference right now. Tied for 7th in triples. Wesley with 3 on the year. Fastball tailoring outside, and it's 2-0 now to the Bobcat right fielder Wesley Womack. Seth Reeves kicks and deals 2-0. There's a curve that missed outside again, and it's 3-0. Having trouble getting that hook to cooperate so far.
Yeah, it looks like it's kind of squirting out of the side of his hand a little bit, and then that last one, he sort of squeezed it a little tighter and released a little late. Missed outside.
3-0 to Wesley, and it's in there for the automatic at the letters, 3-1.
Wesley, one of those type of guys where you might almost think about giving him a green light right there, as he can, send one in the gap, maybe even over the fence. Got a lot of room to work with in right center here.
Oh, indeed.
Scott. Holy cow.
That's pretty impressive. 3-1 pitch is in there for a strike. Looked like a changeup floated in. Took something off the pitch. And Reeves trying to loosen up the arm still and the shoulders as he turned his back on home plate. He's filled the count up at 3-2, battling back. And now Womack will try to get on base on a 3-2. It's outside and high for ball 4. So Womack gets himself a free pass to keep the inning going for Georgia College. He's there with 2 down, and here's Brandon Purcell. BP, or Percy, 2nd in doubles in the Peach Belt Conference, 3rd in steals. You aren't going to be able to say that too many times about a catcher. 3rd in the Peach Belt Conference in stolen bases with 16 out of 20. Brandon sitting at .376 for his senior season. First pitch to him is way outside. That one slipped out of the hand of Reeves.
Yeah, Reeves looking down at his hand on that one. His left hand betrayed him a little bit as he's trying to figure out the grip on this breaking pitch. Bobcats unable to take advantage so far as he's been kind of effectively wild, making us a little uncomfortable out there.
Womack gets back safely. He's 9 for 13 in stolen bases, but with 2 down, probably not going here. Brandon Purcell with 4 homers, 43 runs batted in. That puts him second on the squad in RBI. Change-up, missed outside, 2-0. Reeves not afraid to throw that change-up at about any count, it looks like.
Well, it's either a changeup or he's still having trouble with that curveball, and it's just not doing anything. It's just slow.
Another snap throw, and back on his belly is Wes.
One thing he's shown, though, is to be pretty crafty to first base. Has picked off one guy already and has been pretty close on a couple of these already. He's got a couple different moves over there. He's tricky.
Seth with a set and the 2-0. Checks his swing to Purcell. It's called a strike.
Yeah, on 2-0, you kind of shorten things up a little bit and try and find your zone. Purcell almost pulled the trigger on that one, but just decided a little bit late. So he held off on it and was going to go again here at 2-1.
Womack with a short lead to the 2-1. He'll draw a throw and back standing up this time. Spiva handling first base duties for the Rams.
Reeves going to double his pitch count at this point with all the extra tosses over to first base.
That is true.
Very active over there.
That'll take a little
Got to stay on your toes.
2-1 pitch now to Brandon. Instead, he'll go to first again.
Well, you got to worry about the guy at the plate here. This is a all-conference catcher a year ago and probably poised to pull that off again this season, as it seems like he's having a better senior year than he did as a junior.
The 2-1 on the way. Just missed the outside corner below the knees. Purcell in the last 10 ball games, a .486 batting average with 18 hits, including 4 doubles, a homer, and 8 runs batted in. Bobcats have gone 8-2 over their last 10 starts. The 3-1 coming to Percy, and he'll pop it up. It's going to get out of play back behind their dugout. And the count fills up. That'll give Wesley a chance to get off and running with 2 out. Nothing ball game here, bottom first.
Looked like Brandon just missed that one. Got a little bit behind and perhaps underneath it as well.
Rests the bat on the right shoulder, and the payoff pitch to him is swung on and drilled. High but short in the left field. And cruising over to make the catch, a couple of steps shy of the track is Garcia. That one had a lot less carry to it than I thought it was going to be. And the Bobcats put a runner on but can't push him around. No runs, a hit, 1 man left at the end of 1. 0-0. GC and Winston-Salem State. Back in a bit on the Bobcat Broadcast Network. Top of inning number 2 at the Kurtz. 0-0 ball game between the Bobcats and the Rams. Luke Spiva, Nicholas Williams, and Rashad Stewart, 6, 7, 8 in the lineup for Winston-Salem State. Against Charlie Hecht. Spiva comes in at .322 for the year. Has homered twice, driven in 21 runs. Also has 5 doubles to his credit. And he ropes the first one foul down the first base line. 0-1, trying to get on Hecht early. And this at-bat, we'll run through the Bobcat defense for you in just a second, if I remember to do that. You know, with the age creeping up. You forget things. Another grounder foul closer toward their dugout. It's 0-2. 88 degrees was the temperature at first pitch today.
It's too hot, Scott. I don't
You
like
bet
it. No, thank you.
Charlie trying to put him away. Swing and a miss. Purcell will have to go into foul territory to throw down and gets him. So the strikeout, the second in a row for Charlie Heck. 2-3 for the completion of the putout. Defensively, the Bobcats line up like this. It's Stallings in left, Maddox in center, Womack in right. And the infield third to first. Green, Gentry, Schmall, and Miller with Purcell catching in Hecht. One down for Nicholas Williams. Nick, a .270 batting average, 3 home runs, 15 runs batted in. And he looks at a strike on the outside edge. Williams in his 39th appearance and 38th start. And there's one right in there. And it's quickly 0-2 on Williams. So Charlie Heck just bearing down here in the second inning. Fastball, hammered foul toward the softball diamond and away. And speaking of softball, congratulations to the Bobcat women. They are 4-1 winners over Augusta in the first round of the Peach Belt tournament, the quarterfinals.
Yeah, number 2 seed in the Peach Belt Conference tournament this year. Playing at number 1 seed North Georgia, of course.
Yeah, 51-2 North Georgia.
Yeah,
Can you believe that?
Only one loss in the conference as well. That's just a team that continues to be great year in and year out. I have a feeling that we would have a few region titles if it weren't for those guys.
Fastball away to even it up at 2-2. Charlie reached back for a little extra giddy up on that one. One out, nobody on, 0-0 game. You're right. They just reload up there in Dahlonega for some reason. Coach Mike has got him going. Got him swinging, pulled the trigger on the changeup, and strikeout number 3 and 3 in a row for Charlie.
That's one thing that Charlie has added to the repertoire this year was that off-speed type pitch, that changeup to finish off hitters. And the strikeout numbers have really increased this season for him. He used to be a pretty good strikeout guy, and now he's a great one.
I would imagine he's getting some looks from the scouts. Rashad Stewart looks at a heat right down the middle, and it's 0-1. Stewart, a .257 batting average with 3 homers, 22 runs batted in. 0-1, got the outside corner. A little bit of a late wrinkle on it. And Hecht is just picking him up and laying him down right now.
Little marketing major there. Purcell behind the dish with the sell on that one.
And the 0-2. Fastball just away. Percy tried to bring it back in, but to no avail this time. A little bit too far away.
Went with the fastball there on 0-2. Just off the outside edge.
Got him swinging. Nice breaking pitch. The slider broke low and away. He struck out the side. He's fanned 4 in a row. And we'll go to the bottom of the second. 0-0 between the Bobcats and the Rams. Logan Maddox will get it started for the Bobcats here in the bottom of the second inning, followed by Brant Stallings and Cal Gentry. 5, 6, and 7 in Jason Eller's lineup today. Talk about a guy who's been on fire. It's Logan Maddox. a .393 overall batting average. And over the last 10 ball games, Logan, well, struggled a little bit here. .263. Trying to find that stroke once again. But he had a long batting hitting streak earlier this season. Reached big streak was at 27 in a row. And the first pitch to him is on the outside corner for a strike. So Maddox has seen those numbers tail off as the season winds down. 8 home runs, the team lead. 58 RBI, the team lead. The 0-1 to him. Chop towards short. They're going to have to hurry to get him, and will do so. Nice job by Guzman. Good athlete out there at shortstop for the Rams, and Guzman cuts down Logan Maddox.
Well, you got to work quick when you got somebody like Maddox on the base paths. He's one of those ones that can cover a distance in a short amount of time. But good athletic move there from Guzman to finish it off over at short.
Brant Stallings stands in. The Bobcat left fielder had been the DH quite a bit. .356 batting average in his 34th appearance and 26th start. And he'll stroke it into left center field for a base hit. Charging down the first base line, Stallings throws the brakes on a third of the way down and scampers back to the bag. Gracious, he was possibly trying to make a double out of that.
Yeah, just a slow roller to left center. Was maybe trying to catch the defense slipping a little bit.
Well, Brant didn't give me much chance to tell you about him on the year. On the first pitch swinging, 6 homers, 29 runs batted in. So 1 out, 1 on for Cal Gentry. Moved down in the order here to the number 7 hole. Traditionally our leadoff man, and the first pitch to him is up high and away. The last time he hit below the top line in the dugout, and the lineup, I should say, was back when he was a freshman, when he was first starting. And then the coaching staff elevated him to the top of the list, and he's been a big catalyst for that offense for GC as he looks at a strike. We got a wide zone here today, fellas.
Yeah, Gentry's been sliding down into the bottom half of the lineup for about a week and a half. He actually, at that Columbus series, he lost his leadoff hitting job. But trying to hopefully get him going and wrap him around some tough hitters down there. You know, you got Green behind him, who's one of the leaders in the Peach Belt Conference in batting average.
Cal hitting at .295 for the season.
I mean, again, that's not anything to scoff at, but it's just so far down from where he was last year. The Peach Belt Conference batting average leader a year ago. And I think he finished top 5 in the nation, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. And he was an All-American. Waiting a 2-1 offering, and he checks his swing. It's ruled a ball. They'll check to the base umpire. No swing. Gentry has tailed off of late. He's hitting only .256 over the last 10 ball games. And only 3 runs batted in. So trying to find that offensive groove once again as the season rolls on and rolls to a conclusion here this weekend. 3-1 pitch, slapped out of play left side.
Cal does pretty good here at home. .330 batting average. Got 24 runs scored. He's got a pair of home runs, 17 RBI here at the Kurtz this year. And Bobcats have gone 19-2 in conference play. 19-2 at home, 15-0 in home conference games.
Yeah, defend the Kurtz, and they have done it. And it resulted in a Peach Belt Conference Championship. Steers it to the left side. There's Cal Gentry. Opposite field knock as Gentry puts runners at first and second with 1 down. Talk about home play for the Bobcats. They really like the Kurtz. They're hitting .391 as a team this season. .391 on your home park.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to find a guy that isn't having success here at home. And that's why, you take a look at where the regional's going to be. Right now we're second in the region poll. And it's behind North Greenville now. We're a bit behind them because they've already won their conference tournament. But if we can pull off a win down there in St. Augustine, plus we've got a win over North Greenville in the first weekend of the year. So if some of those non-conference losses during the week are going to hurt us a little bit. But we might have a shot at being able to host.
This one's popped up toward their dugout. Foul territory. First baseman gives chase and dropped it. Spiva got leather on it as he was on the warning track and unfortunately couldn't reel it in. So Garrett Green will get a free swing on the house. Garrett Green comes in at 408, second leading hitter for the Bobcats. A home run and 32 runs batted in. Also has 11 doubles on the season. Green's in the hunt for the Peach Belt Conference regular season batting average championship. He needs a good series here. He's fourth in the Peach Belt right now. 9 percentage points behind the co-leaders there from Pembroke. The 0-1 toss. Breaking pitch inside. 1-1.
Yeah, for the longest time, he was at the top. Had himself that great hitting streak during the middle of the year. Just last weekend, or last home ball game, had a inside the park home run to right field.
Garrett had a 21-game hitting streak earlier this season. Long look to second, the 1-1 pitch. Inside out off the screen right by their dugout. It's 1-2. Green late on that one.
I was talking with Garrett's mom before one of the ball games, and it was during that nice run that he was having. And she said that he had no interest after every ball game, about, the numbers, what he was doing, all that kind of stuff.
Don't tell me.
I don't want to know. So like the parents would talk about it themselves before he got up there, and then after that it was just, hey, where are we going to eat?
I think he was the national leader for a week or so as well. Schmall was. Off the fist, foul to the top of the backstop. It's 1-2.
That's one of those ever rare fouls. Like if we're ever going to get one in the press box, that's how it's going to happen.
Yep.
Since I've been here, it's only happened once. I don't know about you. You've seen a few more ball games here than I have, but we've only had one ball make it up in here, but it's one of those that's going to do it.
Unless it was at a time I wasn't here, that's about the only time I remember.
Okay, so you can only remember one as well?
Yeah, it doesn't really doesn't happen too often. The 1-2, way high, as Reeves unable to reel that one down. 2-2 now on Garrett Green. Bobcats have runners at first and second on back-to-back singles. One down, scoreless ball game. Bottom of inning 2. Seth Reeves, again, a long look to second, and the pitch to the plate. Reaches out, hits it into left center field. Left fielder coming in a hurry, and he'll make the catch. Garcia got a good jump on that one. And Bobcats were hoping it was going to dink in, but it lands in the glove of Garcia.
Yeah, just getting excited there. You're hoping gravity takes over and yanks that one down to the grass, but it just hung up long enough for Garcia to get underneath it. Stallings went about halfway there, maybe about a third or so, because he knew he couldn't get too far off and he knew he couldn't tag. Now it's going to take a clutch hit from a senior here in Slaughter.
Caleb Slaughter, 268 batting average, making his 22nd appearance, just his 8th start of the year. No homers, 6 RBI. And the first pitch fastball's away. 1-0. Single game tonight, single game tomorrow, single game on Sunday to wrap up the regular season. Then it's on to St. Augustine. Starting a week from today, the Peach Belt Conference baseball tournament. It's pool play to start with. The 1-0 pitch, hammered foul right side. Again, tried to get it past him on the outside part of the plate, and Slaughter jumped on it. 1-1 to Caleb. Seth Reeves trying to pitch out of a 2-on, 2-out situation. And spins one inside. Slaughter got out of that one. It puts the count to 2-1 on Caleb. Down in the dugout before the game, I saw Caleb coming at me. It was a mountain man coming at me.
Yeah,
he's huge.
I've said it before, but he's the first guy you want off the bus.
There you go.
On those road trips, man. You get him followed by like a Miller or
that
even
one
Stallings too. No, it got behind him.
Got behind him. gracious. I thought I saw the pants get fluffed by the pitch.
Must have just been a flutter instead of a fluff. But yeah, you get him, you get Stallings, you get Miller. Those are the first three guys off the bus every time if I'm the coach. Just strike fear into the opposing pitchers' hearts right away.
The stretch, and Reeves with his 3-1 offering, and that one's fouled out of play. So that'll load it up, and the two runners on base will get a chance to get off and running. Bobcats trying to draw first blood here. And a base hit in a right spot could mean a couple.
Yeah, going to get him in motion now.
The payoff pitch off the fist, fouled out of play. Stays at 3-2. Seth Reeves is a senior from Grays Creek, North Carolina, and a transfer from Lenore Community College. 6'1" and 205 for the senior.
Well, he's doing a good job battling here. Had some trouble with that curveball on the first. Doesn't seem to be. I think he's got the grip on it now. A bit more comfortable this inning.
The 3-2 again. And that one's chipped foul, right side. Well, Slaughter is making his teammates run a little bit here on a hot day. They'll head back to the base paths again. You've got Stallings at second, Gentry at first with 2 down.
Well, good news is he's making the pitcher work a bunch too here.
That's
right?
true. A number of tosses. Fouled off a bunch, and Caleb kicks the dirt out of the cleats and will head back into the right-hand batter's box and awaits another payoff pitch. Time called. Slaughter, one of 2 guys picked up off the Armstrong State program. Senior from Cochran, Georgia, waits on the payoff again. And cuts and misses for strike 3. So the Bobcats had an opportunity to dent the plate for the first time today, but come up empty. They leave 2 on. And we're scoreless at the end of 2 on the Bobcat Broadcast Network. Charlie Heck back on the hill as the Bobcats take on the Rams of Winston-Salem State University. First game of the final regular season series. Wellington Guzman will start it off. He's their shortstop. And his first time up as he's the number 9 hitter in the lineup. The slider broke way outside, 1-0.
Maddox very shallow in center field. Must be something with the scouting report on this guy. They got him a little bit to the opposite field as well.
Popped up behind us and out of play. It's 1-1 now. Guzman coming in with a .254 batting average. He leads the team in homers, though, with 10. So it's kind of rare that you see Maddox playing that tight, and a big cut and a miss. Came up empty. One-two pitch coming. Just missed away. Guzman, a freshman, 6'4" and 180 out of Manhattan, New York.
It's a big strike zone.
It is a strike zone. For a shortstop being 6'4", that's pretty big young man. And he'll swing and send one to deep left field. Back on it is Brandt. Stallings has plenty of room, and he'll wait on it and bring it in for out number 1. So Guzman gave it a shot, but comes up short in left field. And back to the top of the order for Randy Norris. Norris opened up the ball game with a single up the middle, and it was stranded at third in the first frame.
Yeah, there's a couple hitters in this Winston-Salem State lineup that kind of make you a little nervous. This is one of them for sure.
Swung on and foul tip back to the backstop. 0-1. You've got Garrett Green anticipating a possible bunt. He saw his life flash before his eyes, I'm sure.
No kidding.
Norris was hacking away. The 0-1. He is bunting. Popped it up, and it's going to get out of play over the backstop. And it's quickly 0-2, so that may wipe out the old bunt attempt here from Mr. Norris. Randy coming in as their leading hitter and adding to it with a base knock in the first frame. That's his 83rd hit of the year. And Norris became the all-time hit leader for the Rams earlier this season.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, you can tell he's a talented ball player.
He'll stroke it to left center field. Stallings will track it down, has a bead and grabs it for the second out. Yeah, Randy Norris set the school record for career hits on April 8th as he picked up his 201st hit of his career and a win over Bluefield State College. So 2 down, both on flies to left, and John Garcia will come up. He also singled in the first inning, but was stranded there at first base as Charlie Heck bore down and took care of business. Of course, last inning he struck out the side. So the Rams are grateful to be able to make some contact against Heck. Big cut and a miss on a fastball. That was mano a mano right there. Heck challenged, and Garcia unable to respond.
Taking a look at common opponents for the two teams. Pembroke and North Georgia, 3 games apiece for Winston-Salem State on the schedule.
And there is strike 2 on a fastball inner third.
Going 1-5 against those opponents.
Yeah, lost 3 to Pembroke and 2 out of 3 to North Georgia.
Yeah. The win they got, though, 7-1 at North Georgia. That's a nice victory. It's not easy to win up there at North Georgia. They
Indeed.
got that turf field,
right?
You know, which is a little bit of adjustment for most of the teams in the Southeast. There aren't too many turf fields.
And we'll face that down at Flagler for the weekend series. They're using that and another ballpark nearby. It's popped foul out of play, and it's 2-2. I think can't remember. It's a junior college, St. John's. Is that correct?
Yeah, one of those, I think. Yeah.
But the Flagler field does have a turf infield and a natural grass outfield.
The Flagler University field is at a very flat area. Get the wind whipping pretty good there. It's similar to our setup here where you have the 2 fields next to each other.
Strike 3. 5 punch outs. First looking there is Garcia fans to end it. 1-2-3 go the Rams in the bottom of the third. We'll revisit the Flagler field in just a little bit. Bobcats to try to get on the scoreboard as they come up in the bottom of the third here on the Bobcat Broadcast Network. Here we go to the bottom of the third. Georgia College, nothing, and Winston-Salem State University, Winston-Salem State University, nothing as well. Back to the top of the order for GC, it's Matthew Miller, Nate Schmall, and Wesley Womack. So the Bobcats have all got a chance to see Seth Reeves. And so far, he's surrendered 3 hits with a strikeout and a walk for the lefty. Matthew with a deep fly ball to the opposite field, right field. Takes a changeup up high, 1-0. And again, it did not appear that he got a really true strong swing on that fly to right. Miller showing the stirrups. He says he's going to rock the stirrups all weekend long. And he'll send a ground ball to the second baseman. Grass cutter for Stewart, and he'll throw, and didn't get him. Matthew legs out a single. Nice run down the line, and Miller just bait the wrap at first.
He's got a 5-tool guy there is Miller, and that's just really a simple ground ball to second base. I mean, it was a little bit up the middle, so kind of a longer throw for a second baseman. There aren't a whole lot of guys that beat that out.
Right. That's just hustle.
Yeah, Miller's got the skills to do some damage there every time the ball goes into play.
Now Nate Schmall had a single just to the right of second base, then got picked off trying to steal second base. See if he can keep the line moving here for the Bobcats. A 0-0 ball game. He's squaring to bunt, pushes it down the first base line. First baseman's got to make the play himself. He'll tag Small, and Spiva gets the put out. Small with a sacrifice bunt. And the Bobcats among the best in not just the conference, but in the nation in sacrifices, especially sacrifice flies.
Well, that's the little things, you know. You got to get that kind of stuff going, as well as the, bases loaded doubles and things like that in order to have a successful year. So no surprise there at all that Bobcats having some success in the small things.
Yeah, Nate's 5th sacrifice hit of the season, one below green.
You could say that was small ball, right?
Small ball. You could. I probably wouldn't.
Probably
but,
not.
You know, I'm sure I would have said it eventually.
Yep.
And I'm sure the Schmalls are really appreciative of it. So Nate does the job as Miller's at second base with 1 down. Wesley Womack with a chance to drive in the first run of the night. Lefty-lefty matchup, and a swing and a foul right straight back. It's 0-1 on Womack, who drew a free pass in the first inning. Bobcats have had 2 runners to second base thus far in this ball game and not been able to plate them. Garcia, Norris, and Ford in the outfield for the Rams. Williams, Guzman, Stewart, and Spiva around the infield, third to first, and Parks catching in. And a big cut and a miss. Wesley got fooled on that one. He tried to send it out of the Kurtz. Nothing in 2 now on the Bobcat right fielder. He'll back out and regroup a little bit. Reeves comes set with the 0-2 offering. And Womack going to swing, send it into center field, and tracked down nicely by Norris with that good speed. A lot of center fielders aren't going to get to that one. But Womack hit it to the fastest guy out there, and Norris going to his right makes the catch. And it's 2 down rather, with a runner at second base for Brandon Purcell.
Well, hit it pretty well. Just kind of hung up there long enough for Norris to get underneath it. I mean, you can see that speed coming into play. He's a good one out there in center. Probably their best player overall.
Purcell with a fly to left to end the first inning. Gets an opportunity to drive in the initial run of our contest here tonight. Reeves with a kick in the first pitch. Rope to left, but it's going to go foul by half a dozen feet. Just a little early on. Shot by Percy. The former Banana will get back into the box. I didn't get a chance to ask him what his summer plans were. Maybe we'll have time to talk about that, hopefully, as the postseason rolls on. 0-1 pitch, bounces up there. Nice stop by Parks. That gets past him. We got a runner at third.
I don't know if we have any bananas this upcoming season or not. I had 2 last year with him and Maddox. Maddox actually made the all-star team for that league.
Hey, we may have a Macon Bacon
We
guy.
do have a Bacon.
We do. All right.
It's going to be Cal Gentry's going to be playing
Really?
for Bacon there.
Well, that's
kind
good.
of a hometown team for him out there in Perry.
Young man from Perry gets a chance to play near his home, way outside from Reeves. It's 2-1. Good job for Cal. Get a chance to play, and that'll be at historic Luther Williams Field.
Yes, Weston family has season tickets for the
Really?
Bacon, yes. Mainly because they came with an all-you-can-eat package. They are going to lose some money on that deal.
Oh, it's not going to be to their advantage.
Nope, that was not a smart move on the Bacon's part.
Oh, my. Cut and a miss, and Purcell actually fouled it out of the catcher's mitt, and it's 2-2. Deuce is wild, Mr. Weston. And Purcell taking a little walk around the batter's circle there.
Yeah, got fooled on that breaking pitch there. Was well out in front of it. Talking to himself a little bit, I got to imagine.
Runner at second with 2 out and a 2-2 pitch due Brandon Purcell. Reeves with the offering, and it's way outside again. And the count loads up on Brandon Purcell as Reeves has gone to the well quite a bit already in the first 2 2/3. A lot of tosses and a lot of fouls for the Bobcats. Haven't been able to straighten out a whole lot with just 4 hits to their credit to this point. We'll go payoff once again to Percy. And he'll drive it into left center field. Pretty well hit.
That's
it
trouble.
might be trouble, and it might be out of here, and it is Brandon Purcell with a blast to left center field right underneath the scoreboard. And Percy puts the Bobcats on top, 2-0. His 5th homer of the year, RBIs 44 and 45.
Well, he gets, goes from getting fooled miserably on the previous pitch to the point where he has to take a walk all the way around the home plate area, waits on one, and then golfs another one out of here. A very similar swing to his first at bat when he flew out to left. He just got quite a bit more of it and sent it between the outfield wall and the scoreboard in left center.
So the Bobcats get the first 2 runs of the night. Reeves surrendering his 4th home run of the season. And the first pitch to Logan Maddox is taken for a ball, 1-0. Logan with a ground out to shortstop. And a fastball outside in the left-hand hitter's box. It's 2-0 on the former Gold Glover. One of just 2 Bobcats ever to win a Gold Glove.
Yep, he and Dylan Cook.
Back-to-back years. How about that?
Yep, Cook got spent a couple years in the Dodgers organization.
He'll drive one to the gap left center. He's going to go for 2 as it bounces high off the wall on one hop. Logan Maddox strokes a double. And he keeps the inning going. So some 2-out lightning for the Bobcats here.
Odd to say it, but I think that ball was actually hit a little bit better than Purcell's one. That was a bit more of a line drive, and that's consecutive swings that have the Bobcats have put a pretty good charge into the ball. Here you go again. It's that snowball running down the hill here.
Hard to catch it.
And I know the head coach for Winston-Salem State is feeling the pressure on that as well as he heads out there to talk it over. It's Kevin Ritchie. He's in his 8th season as at the helm of the Rams.
And there's nobody in the Rams bullpen as yet. So the Bobcats teeing off on the left-hander Reeves. 14th double of the year for Logan Maddox. He's still 2 behind team leader Brandon Purcell with 16. Bobcats have now stroked 106 doubles.
Percy's been a doubles machine, all 4 years for Georgia College. That's something I'll probably look into tonight, see where he's positioned all time in doubles. He's got to be getting up there Georgia College-wise now, at least during the NCAA era for sure.
Yeah.
They played a few more ball games back in the NAIA years, so it's kind of a war of attrition that way. But, yeah, so Winston-Salem State with 2 down here. Opportunity to get out of it with just the 2 runs, but you got to get through some tough hitters here.
And one of them being Brant Stallings at the dish now. First pitch to him, and he's going to pop it up into short right center field. Center fielder Norris, with the glasses gleaming, has it. And might have been blinded a little bit by that sunshine, but he makes the catch. But the Bobcats strike first. They get a 2-run bomb from Brandon Purcell. They lead it 2-0 at the end of 3, and Mr. Weston will be with you when we come back on the Bobcat Broadcast Network.
Back to action here, top half of the 4th inning. And for Winston-Salem State, looks like, what do we got, 3, 4, 5 coming up here, Scott?
You got that right, sir.
Okay, I don't have the individual at-bats in front of me on this stat system. So if you can do that for me while we're going along here, just tell the folks what each batter did as they come up. That would be helpful.
All right, Ford flew out on the first pitch to right field, and he swings on the first pitch here.
2 bats, 2 pitches, and this is a foul ball into the glove of Garrett Green over there at third base.
Mr. Ford doesn't mess around at the dish, does he?
Well, I think he's, he's not going to exactly earn his meal money at this point. As Hecht is in a groove right now, comfortable and trying to jump on the first offer there unsuccessfully.
Yeah, Charlie with 5 strikeouts, 3 of them coming in the 2nd inning.
And that brings up Emilio Abreu, number 2 hitter on the roster.
And Abreu had a fly to Maddox in center, his first at bat.
Abreu came into the ball game at 4:02. I believe that first one missed for a ball, and that one's going to bounce up there. Quick 2-0 count here for Hecht and Abreu. If there's any relation to big leaguer Bobby Abreu here, perhaps.
Let's see what the
2-0 pitch, and it's chopped foul. Not the kind of cut you want on a hitter's count there at 2-0.
Got Abreu listed as a New Jersey native from Elizabeth, New Jersey, and Rahway High School.
Man, all over the place are these Rams.
You got a guy from Venezuela on the staff?
Yep, they're pulling lots of different locations. There's a called strike, 2-2 now the count. Lots of fastballs here in this at bat.
Yeah, he's seeing a lot of heat from Charlie.
Kind of crowding the plate a little bit, but way back in that batter's box, waiting to get those pitches after they break, perhaps. So 2-2 the count here for Abreu, 1 down, and nobody on top of the 4th. Hecht peers over the glove, waves off a couple of signals, and now he comes with that 3rd offer, another fastball up, and it's a full count here for the Ram batter. Nice night here at the Kurtz. Got a good crowd. A couple folks up on the hill. Chopper left side. Green's going to have to wait for it to come down. He fires off the back foot. No shot over at first base. That's going to be an infield single. As that's like an AstroTurf type of infield hit off the bat of Abreu.
The old ping pong table here at Kurtz Field late in the season. Hardens up and really took a huge hop. And Garrett Green really had no opportunity to get Abreu.
Green did a good job with that transition from glove to throwing arm and trying to make something happen over there, but really no shot, and Abreu checks into first base. 3rd hit of the ball game for the Rams, and it brings up the catcher, Parks.
Parks with a strikeout victim in the first inning. That's the first hit for the Rams since that first inning when they put two together but couldn't score.
Parks will square to bunt, pull it back, and Purcell loses the handle on it. Then the throw down to second base. Did that pitch bounce before it got to the plate there, Scott?
Yeah, it looked like it was hopping around on him. So.
All right, so we're going to go wild pitch on that one
off.
because the break for Abreu came after that ball hit the ground. So 1-0 the count now. Runner in scoring position with one down.
Charlie's second wild pitch of the season. Not bad.
Geez, we're in the last weekend of the regular season, and that's wild pitch number 2.
Yeah, 91 plus innings and
Goodness.
The second wild pitch.
1-0, that one bounces as well, make it 2-0.
Little adjustment needed now, I guess.
You know, Charlie was in the rocking chair up until that chopper to the left side, and things have kind of slowed down a little bit for him here. Got to regroup and find that strike zone once again. 2-0 pitch. It is sent foul back behind us.
Right over the top that time for Charlie. And almost buzzed it by Parks.
Regular season champs in the Peach Belt Conference for Georgia College. The most wins in school history in Peach Belt Conference play.
How about that, huh?
And the most wins by any Peach Belt Conference school since like 01 or something like that.
Kennesaw.
I think it was. 2-1 pitch is foul back.
I think, I'm not sure, but Kennesaw may have made a run to the national title that year with that many wins.
There was, I think that, if I'm not mistaken, that was the year that they went, I think 26-1 or something. No,
yeah,
27-1
or
27.
27. Yeah,
There was one year where his team only had one conference loss the entire season. Now that's some domination right there. And of course, Kennesaw now Division I program. 2-2, cut on and missed, and down on strikes goes Cole Parks.
Second time that Charlie's got him, and he got him on the changeup again. That is 6 strikeouts for Charlie with only one looking.
Big out there without the runner advancing to third base. And now with 2 down, it is Luke Spiva. Left-hand batter against the righty Hecht. What'd Spiva do first time up?
He started that strikeout parade in the second inning, and he had to be thrown out to complete the putout.
Misses on the first delivery there.
The late evening or early evening sun dropping down here, kind of hard to see a little bit. Runners going.
And nobody covering third base, so that's going to be a stolen base there. The pitch was outside for a ball. It's 1-1.
Abreu gets his 5th stolen base in 8 tries.
A little bit of a defensive breakdown there. Either that or just conceding the bag is letting Charlie go after this hitter. It's 2-1 now as that curveball stays outside. Swung on and lifted to center. Maddox has a beat on it, got a shade a little bit toward right center, and he gets underneath it in plenty of time for out number 3. So no problems at all after the runner gets to third base. I think that's our first runner at third maybe for these guys?
Second one. They got one in the first.
All right, so that's going to end things here in the top of the 4th. Georgia College up 2-0. We'll be right back with the bottom half in just a moment here on the Bobcat Broadcast Network. Let's roll on to the bottom half of the fourth inning. Going to be the bottom of the order for Georgia College baseball as well. Gentry, Green, and Slaughter due up.
Hey, you got all those plaques put together yet?
Well,
senior day tomorrow, man.
Yeah, we got senior day tomorrow, and actually I found out we're going to have an extra senior that nobody told me about. So Wesley Womack
really?
is graduating and won't be back next season.
Oh,
he
my
had a year
goodness.
of eligibility left, and
can't we keep him around?
yeah, we got to find a class or two for him to take. And,
yeah, just a graduate studies of one or two something. Come on.
Well,
Come on,
congratulations
Wes.
to Wesley.
Yeah, that's good.
Picking up that Georgia College degree. Going to take that back to Monroe. 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball slid out of the hand again there on Reeves, and it's a quick 2-0 count for Cal Gentry. Gentry is single his last time up. Little C&I job through the left side. 2-0 pitch. Up and away. Let's make it 3-0.
Yeah, he did a great job with contact on that pitch. And Cal has been famous over his first couple of years here with just being able to steer the ball where he wants to put it.
That's the 3-0, and that's, I guess, the automatic. It looked a little bit high, but not too much. And 3-1 it goes. The rock and the 3-1 pitch, and it's on the outside corner. Some moans and groans from the Bobcat umpires.
Indeed.
And a couple folks up here in the press box as well.
That low outside pitch to left-handers has been there all night, unfortunately. At least he's consistent with it.
Swung on and rolled to second base. Kind of hopped up funny a little bit there on Stewart, but he sticks with it for the out. Sort of made a darting move on him at the last hop, and he almost went through the wickets on him.
Well, they did a great job in the offseason of rebuilding the infield here. Coach Eller put a lot of money into the infield of Kurtz Field. It was already pretty pristine, but made it even nicer, and it's very rare that you see any kind of wicked hops created by bouncing balls at the Kurtz.
First delivery here, and it misses inside. Just got a note on my phone that Dansby Swanson going on the 10-day DL.
Oh, boy.
Of course, Dansby Swanson, the younger brother of Georgia College softball shortstop Lindsey Swanson. Don't know if you knew that, Scott.
I did not know that. That's why my eyes got so big. Here's
a flare, and that will get down. Look at that. Garrett Green must be living right. He got fisted on the inside there and muscled it out to center field as that's hit number 7 of the ball game for the Bobcats.
So Garrett goes 1 for 2 and keeping his hopes alive of snaring the regular season batting title. How about that? I did not know that we had a celebrity on the softball squad.
4-year starter over there, Lindsey Swanson. Apparently Dansby came to a bunch of the ball games while he was growing up. So he's been here to Milledgeville quite a few times. Got a signed jersey off of him for the auction a couple months ago, or last month there.
Real nice.
Caleb Sauter at the plate puts a pretty good charge into this one into right field, but it's going to hang up there nicely for Ford. A few steps shy of the track for out number 1. 2 down here, and back to the top of the order, and Matthew Miller. Miller in that leadoff spot for, I believe, the first time. I don't think he's been there before this point. And he's 1 for 2 today, I believe. Got the single in his last at bat. Scored a run, too, right, Scott?
Yes, indeed.
So Miller doing a good job at the top of the order. Now with an opportunity to maybe drive one in.
Sorry, Al.
No, go ahead.
Going to say got Chandler Amison up. Some tosses down to the bullpen just in case Charlie runs a little out of gas as we go to the 5th inning. I'd love to have him stay in there at least and have the potential to pick up his 11th win.
Toss over to first, and back on his feet this time is Green. Green not much of a stolen base threat as the Bobcats go. At least not one of the busier ones for GC on the base paths, just 7 and 9. Breaking pitch, and that one can't hang on to it. stays outside in the left-hand batter's box. It's a 1-0 count for Miller. Miller from all the way from San Diego, transfer from University of Hawaii. I believe he picked Georgia College as a grandfather, I think, that lives somewhere here on the East Coast.
He didn't just throw a dart at a map?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously, he was probably looking for good baseball and opportunity to play and those sorts of things, but came here in 16 and was an all-conference and all-region outfielder that year. Took a year off last year and now is back to finish off his Georgia College degree. As that one misses inside, it's 3-0.
Coming back with a vengeance here in 18. That's a pretty good story if you lay off for a whole year and come back and hit like he's been hitting.
Yep. I believe he was attending GMC last year, 3-0 pitch, and that's up and away for ball 4. So first and second here with 2 down. And Nate Schmall will head to the plate. Schmall 1 for 1, I believe, officially. Got the single first hit of the ball game, and then also a sacrifice bunt in his last trip. Coming Georgia native and transfer from Chattanooga State.
How many times has he visited the Choo Choo, I wonder?
Oh,
probably not too many times. You see it once, that's good enough, right?
I have visited the Choo Choo myself.
I have as well.
The in-laws used to live there, so.
Ah, okay.
Big fan of Chattanooga. Chop to the right side, and the second baseman going to get a backhand flip to second there. That wasn't probably the highest percentage play for Stewart, but it comes up aces in that one. The fielder's choice finishes off the inning as the Bobcats can't add to their 2-0 lead. 4 in the books now. It's Georgia College 2 and Winston-Salem State 0. You're listening to Georgia College Baseball on the Bobcat Broadcast Network. Nicholas Williams will dig in, the third baseman for Winston-Salem State in his second at bat here in this ball game. First pitch coming is a fastball outside for ball 1.
Charlie got him on strikes his first at bat back in the second inning.
Part of that run of strikeouts for a bit. How many?
He had 4 in a row
for him now. Total? What do we got?
He's got 6 total. He had 4 in a row to end the first and all 3 in the second.
Ball low, going to be 2-0 here. Needed 8 to catch the leader in strikeouts in the Peach Belt Conference, Livingston, from Young Harris with 116. Swung on and lifted to right. Womack has to fade back a little bit, and he grabs that one as he does so for out number 1.
Wesley with a first step in and then kind of rearranged himself and got back out there in a hurry to make the catch.
Yep, lucky that was skied a bit as opposed to a bit more of a line drive, or it might have been an issue.
Yeah, he had a chance to get back there and grab it.
Rashad Stewart steps in now, second baseman for the Rams. Thinks about a bunt, pulls it back, takes a ball outside.
Stewart also out on strikes against Charlie in the second.
Skies this one foul, and it's a 1-1 count. Stewart, a junior, from Dinwiddie, Virginia, and a transfer from Patrick Henry Community College, probably in his first year as a Ram. 1-1 pitch. Swung on and hit well. Tomahawk that one. It's going to go all the way to the wall in left field. Extra bases. Stewart's going to check into second base as Stallings gets the ball into short. As that's a one-out double for the Ram second baseman.
Yeah, you talked about Tomahawk, and that was right on target for that because he just reached up there and smoked it into left field.
Yeah, it looked like that fastball was up around the chin of Stewart, but he got on top of it and knocked the laser beam down the line there.
Shortstop Wellington Guzman.
Well, how about that? Bobcats have Bradley Spinner warming up. If this is for realsies, then that'd be Spinner's first action of the year.
Wow.
Swung on and tap foul.
Got a piece of the umpire on the foot. Gonna have to walk that one off.
Spinner with the elbow surgery and has had a couple of setbacks this year. We hope to have him midway through the year for the back of the bullpen and then maybe work him into the rotation towards the end of the year. And that didn't come to fruition, unfortunately. As oddly enough, he took a fall partway through the year, and that kind of sort of re-injured things a little bit for him and slowed him down. Pitch taken for a strike. It's 0-2. But if looks like Brad might be warming up with a purpose over there, so that'd be nice. Bradley, of course, a SGA senator here at Georgia College, or first during my 10 years to have a student athlete on the Student Government Association here at GC. 0-2 pitch. Cut on and missed, and down on strikes for Guzman. That's going to be strikeout number 7 for Hecht as he's one away now from that Peach Belt Conference lead.
Center fielder Randy Norris.
And that brings up Randy Norris. Norris is a dangerous one. The High Point, North Carolina native. 1 for 2 today. Is that right, Scott?
He is 1 for 2 with a single his first at bat, fly to left back in the third inning.
Left him stranded over at third base in the first. Late on that swing, fouls it back and out of play.
Don't want to give him too many opportunities here with the runners in scoring position, because he has come through for them quite a bit this season.
Set here and a 0-1 delivery. Runner goes. Throw down to third. Nope, nothing happening there as we're going to give up that bag once again. Nobody covering on the steal.
Yeah, Green did not even flinch to go to third to cover it. So Stewart racks up his stolen base.
Pitch was a called strike, and it's 0-2.
Stewart now 8 of 9. No, excuse me, 7 of 10 for stolen bases.
That one bounces on the chalk in the left-hand batter's box. Going to get a new baseball out of the deal. From what I've noticed about Norris, plays with a little bit of flair. I've seen him, kind of joking around in the outfield and stuff, and he was dancing off of second base, trying to cause problems for Hecht in the first. Seems like he'd be a fun player to have on your squad. This is fouled back into the fence. Still remains 1-2.
I imagine he's the guy that keeps you loose on the bus trips and the locker room.
It's a lot easier to do that kind of stuff when you're the guy hitting 423 as well.
That is true.
If you're hitting 223, your coach is putting you on the end of the bench for doing that stuff. But 1-2 pitch is right back at Charlie. He knocks it down, and the run will score. I think that caught him in the shins there, Scott. He's a little bit slow to get up, and David Youngblood is going to head out there, our graduate assistant athletic trainer, to talk it through. So the RBI single makes it 2-1 now. Bobcat lead cut in half, but I'm more concerned about the shins of Charlie Hecht.
Yeah, you got to really concern yourself with that, because that was just a rocket right back at him, and I really couldn't tell exactly where it wound up getting him. Coach Eller's going to make his way out of the dugout, and
yep, Youngblood on his
yeah, they're looking
taking
at
one knee there. He's looking at the shin and ankle area of the lead foot, it appears, for Hecht. So that would be the left foot.
60 feet 6 inches away, and that ball can come at you in a hurry.
He almost got the leather down.
Yeah.
You know, the glove got to about his knees, but didn't quite have enough time to deflect it any. I think that went straight shin on him. And there's not a whole lot of meat to work with there, you know.
You're right. That's going to leave a mark.
So some warm-up tosses here for Charlie Hecht. And
just one.
Yeah.
He says,
Coach
nope.
Eller's made the call already. Well,
don't take a chance.
Yeah, I think this is probably, you know, 50% the injury and 50%, you know, it's the last weekend. We need you more next weekend at the Peach Belt Tournament. So Charlie with a great ball game here. And unfortunately, the injury takes him out with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. Or top of the 5th here.
That'll be a no decision for him.
Yep, so we're going to get Bradley Spinner into the ball game. And the first action for the Spin Man. We'll take a brief break and tell you a little bit more about Bradley Spinner in just a moment.
He'll drive it into left center field. Pretty well hit.
That's
it
trouble.
might be trouble, and it might be out of here, and it is. Brandon Purcell. So Bradley Spinner comes on, as Al said, his first appearance of the season as we play the final regular season series. Bradley, a junior from Roswell and a graduate of Blessed Trinity. 5'10", 170. Lefty getting his warm-up tosses in, trying to battle back from injuries that have plagued him. And he takes over from Charlie Hecht. Hecht had 7 strikeouts, did not issue a free pass, but will not get a decision here. He got the runner at first base as his responsibility. With 2 out, a run in, and it's a 2-1 lead.
Got a little celebrity here. Mr. Ardeezer in
Hey,
attendance.
Mr. Ardeezer.
Very nice. He's looking good. He's got a nice tan going, the whole thing. Where you been, buddy? Somebody's been outside. So the Spin Man with his first action of the season. Started the weekend, was a weekend guy last year for us and had that injury early on. I want to say it was before the first month of the season was up, and then never pitched again for the rest of the year. And now the first pitch, swing and strike there for Garcia. Toss over to first. They got the runner off, but a low throw to first, so that's going to be a stolen base for Norris. Norris doing the right thing there. When he got picked off, he just turned on the afterburners and stole the bag instead.
And that'll be 34 steals for Norris, and the Bobcats have given up 3 stolen bases already in this ball game, and that steal, uncontested steal by Stewart, got him to third base and allowed them to get that run.
Purcell behind the plate made a point at third base when looking at the dugout to say, are we going to cover the bag this time?
Please.
Because I don't want to airmail one into left field and tie this ball game up. 1-1 the count here for Garcia. And Bradley Spinner's got to buckle down here in a pretty tough spot to be pitching your first contest of the year. Here comes that 1-1. With a breaking pitch there and a nice one.
What a sweep.
Buzzed inside, low inside corner of the right-hand batter. And it's 1-2.
That's like a 2 o'clock to 7 o'clock spin on it. It really broke in on him.
Spinner with a long look in here. I think he waved off one. Now he comes set. Same pitch, same location, same call. Strike 3. Can I help you? No, just looking. And down on strikes goes Garcia for the third out of the inning. Bradley Spinner comes in a tough spot and gets some tough outs. Let's head to the bottom half of the fifth and get some insurance in just a moment here on the Bobcat Broadcast Network. Wesley Womack starts off the bottom half of the third. Going to be 3, 4, 5 in the Georgia College order. Really could use some insurance here. Saw our lead get cut in half by a single off the shin of Charlie Hecht in the top of the fifth. What'd Wesley do his first couple of trips there, Scott?
Got him for a walk and a fly to center.
So 0 for 1 officially with a lefty, and, well, there's a hit.
Jump on the first pitch.
Yep, chopped that one right up the middle. A worm burner, gets through the middle. And it's hit number 8 of the ball game for Georgia College, but a leadoff base runner, which is awful nice.
Well, maybe that'll jumpstart things. And the Bobcats have been known to be able to jump on first pitches and take care of business. Don't want Reeves to get too comfortable out there. He's only down by a run to the number 8 team in the country. He's held the Bobcats basically in check here. And see if the offense can go. Speaking of offense, here's Mr. Purcell.
Brandon Purcell, 2-run home run his last time up. He's 1 for 2. Has golfed a couple of balls to left field. And one of them over the fence. There's a pitch taken for a strike.
Man, starts him off with a change.
Well, he saw his fastball head, just shy of the scoreboard.
That's true. Maybe trying something a little different.
Womack at first, a little bit of a stolen base threat, but a crafty lefty on the hill for sure.
They're finally going to get some bullpen activity down there.
That's a big fella there.
He is.
Very lanky, tall lefty. Going to stick with the lefty mode here are the Rams, and probably a pretty good idea. This one is hit back to the pitcher. The throw down to second, step on the bag, and no, not going to double us up. Couldn't catch it there at first base. So that's a fielder's choice on that play. Can't assume the double play ball. All right, so that was a 1-6 to get him out at second.
Another smash back to the pitcher. We've had bullets to the hurlers so far in this 5th inning. Maddox has a 1 for 2 night working with a double his last trip, but was stranded at second, ground out to short first time up.
Low and away, grabs the corner though, and there's a strike. Maddox had that hard hit shot, one hop the fence in left center. As Logan continues to be one of the best hitters in Georgia College history. That nips the outside corner again though, and he's deep in the hole 0-2. Logan's going to take a little bit of a walk and regroup here.
He's hitting .440 against lefties, 11 for 25 prior to tonight. So 12 for 27 bumps that up some.
But now got a battle back from an 0-2 hole. Here it comes. Swung on and missed in the dirt, and Maddox goes down on strikes. Big strikeout there for out number 2. So Purcell stays put at first base, and now Brant Stallings at the dish. Stallings 1 for 2 as well, has a single and a fly to right center.
As you can see, the twilight is starting to catch up now. Got a little bit of sun right out there on the mound.
Yep, lights are on here at the Kurtz, and Stallings covering every section of that right-hand batter's box there with those long legs of his. There's a pitch up and in. Brant, the second best athlete in his house from what I'm told.
I don't think Chris heard you.
No? Okay.
No. She probably did. She just doesn't want to respond.
1-0 pitch is outside. Make it 2-0. Stallings, of course, transfer from Georgia Tech. Spent a couple seasons up there. Come down here for his junior year. Took over a starting role, probably about 2 months ago, and has white-knuckled it ever since. Has not left the lineup. Big cut and a miss on the 2-0, and that one appeared to be in the dirt, just dropped off the table on Stallings.
Yeah, he really had to dig down. That almost went to a knee to swing at it.
Brant was battling a wrist issue a couple weeks ago. I don't see any protective gear, so he must be on the mend from that. Kicking a fire here on a 2-1 off the end of the bat, foul back to the fence, and deuces wild here at John Kurtz Field.
First baseman Spiva battling that sunshine on the right side, had his first baseman's mitt up, shading his eyes. That slice of sun is right at him.
He's got the sunglasses on, but that's not going to do too much when you're staring right into it.
Especially got that lefty who's got pretty good moves.
And tricky ones over there, too. Going to trick your own players sometimes. There's one fouled off. Stallings got fooled on the pitch, but was able to hold back enough just to tap it foul.
So 2-2 to 2-2 once again. I come up with these crafty sayings.
Well, that was good.
Thank you.
Yep.
40 years, buddy.
Hey, you know,
You know?
it don't come easy. Another kick in a fire.
Oh.
Swung on and missed at the pitch well out of the zone for strike 3. Got fooled on the fastball up and away. And that's the final out. No runs on one hit, no errors, one left. 5 complete now. Georgia College up 2-1. You listen to Bobcat Baseball on the Bobcat Broadcast Network. Back to action here. Going to go to the top of the sixth. Brad Spinner out there for his first full inning. Going to be taking on Ford here. This is Brandon Ford, the senior from Kernersville, North Carolina. Transfer from Catawba Valley Community College. Do you pronounce the W there? Is it a
Catawba.
Catawba?
Catawba. Yeah.
Catawba?
That's your Yankee coming out, boy. Catawba.
1-0 count.
At least he took a pitch.
Yep.
First two.
Oh,
at
this
bats,
is the fellow that did
he's offered at the first two offerings.
And now he's taking a look at two, one of each. Got a 1-1 count.
I'll have one of each, thanks.
Spinner with that, I think it's a slider there.
Yeah.
It looks like he's kind of shot put up there. And that one's outside, 2-1. Working quickly, comes inside with a fastball, and that gets sent into right field for a base hit. Caught a bit too much plate, and Ford escorts it into right field. Leadoff base runner for the Rams, and it brings up Abreu, the designated hitter. Emilio Abreu, the senior from Elizabeth, New Jersey, and Rahway High.
He's 1 for 2 with that infield single back in the fourth inning. Wound up at third, but we stranded him there. Now a little conference between Purcell and Spinner. And
oh my goodness, it's the top of the sixth, Scott. And I think it's time for the sock update. I haven't done it yet.
We'd better do it.
It's typically the top of the sixth before I turn it back over. Okay, so sock update. We got no sock showing in left field for Stallings. In center field, Maddox has the sock showing. Right field, Womack with no sock showing over there. Now the infield's going to be a little tricky as they're all kind of grouped around the pitcher right now. I believe I've got Garrett Green with socks and Miller with socks. We got socks on the corners and up the middle, no socks.
So
With
that's
our
your sock
middle
update.
infield. That's your sock update brought to you by absolutely nobody. We're going to get a new pitcher. Looks like Logan Hicks. If I have to make a guess, nope, that is not. That is Chandler Amison. We'll tell you about Amison's numbers when we come back in just a moment.
Now pitching for the Bobcats, number 30.
All right, folks, so we go to the bullpen for the second time today. Going to be the right-hander this time as we get the junior Chandler Amison.
Amison making his 14th appearance, and this will be his 10th in relief. He's 4-1 on the year, 4.28 earned run average. He does have a save on the season, 33 2/3 innings pitched. He's given up 35 hits, 16 runs. They've all been earned. He's walked only 4 and struck out 20. So a nice 5-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. Opponents are hitting only .267 against the right-hander, and you hope that Bradley Spinner's okay. Brandon Purcell went out immediately after the base hit by Brandon Ford, and then looked into the dugout, and Coach Eller came out. So hopefully it's just a situation of, Bradley, we got you in there. You got a little bit of experience. Got the strikeout to end the fifth, gave up the single to start this sixth inning, and we'll turn it over to Amison.
Yeah, he was looking good. Like you said, got out of that jam. As the first pitch here by Abreu, that's a heck of a way to greet a new reliever or try to drop down a bunt in front of him. Right? My goodness. So that's a foul ball. And an 0-1 count here for Abreu. Amison has seen a market increase in playing time this year. Square to bunt, pull it back, and take a ball. It's 1-1. Got the runner Ford over at first base. If you're thinking about a steal, let's check out Mr. Ford. Brandon Ford has 12 steals. That's second on the squad. It's 12 and 14 tries as well. Square, pull it back, snap throw down to first, and back on his belly is Ford. 2-1 to count. As Abreu is trying to give us an out here, but we're not taking it quite yet. Bradley Kamak is warming up in the Georgia College bullpen. So he will be the next arm called upon here. And that bunt is fouled back this time to the fence, 2-2 the count. Great support here from the coaching staff here at Georgia College. I see tennis graduate assistant Katie Krupp. We got head volleyball coach Gretchen Krumdick, and I think head men's basketball coach Mark Gaines over there.
Are you doing some name dropping?
Yeah, I think so. Up and in, and a 3-2 count.
Got a chance to see Gano's bride, Natasha, yesterday when some kids from John Millage signed their letters of intent to move on, including to Harvard.
Oh, very nice.
Yep.
Pitch up, and that's ball 4. So Abreu walks, shoves that tying run into scoring position with nobody out. Now that at bat started with a couple of bunt attempts. And now
Catcher Cole Parks.
going to be first and second with nobody down for Cole Parks, the catcher.
Parks had a little bit of a chat with Coach Ritchie before he headed to the right-hand hitter's box, so see what's planned here.
Now, a couple of strikeouts, I believe, for Parks, right?
Yes, he is fanned both times.
And I think with runners on base both times, if I remember right. So Parks from Huntersville, North Carolina, the sophomore, thinks about a bunt very briefly and takes a ball up and away.
Parks has 3 sacrifice hits to his credit for the season.
He thought about it very late that time, and it was just sort of a fleeting thing. Now we square early, pull it back, and swing. That is hit well to left field. Back to the wall and out of here. A 3-run home run. He squares to bunt, pulls it back, and gets enough on it to send it over the fence for a 4-2 Ram lead. How about that?
That was a bomb. It hit off the top of the storage shed out there back of the left field fence as Parks just teed off on Amison.
So Parks busts this thing open as Winston-Salem State with all the momentum now. 4 runs unanswered thus far over the last 2 frames.
First baseman Luke Spiva.
And they own a 4-2 lead.
Parks up to 32 ribbies, and that was his 5th round tripper of the year.
First pitch swinging here for Spiva. That's going to go to right center. 1 hop the fence, extra bases. Throw in from Wesley Womack, and standing up with a double. Back-to-back extra base hits for the Rams.
Amison unable to retire a batter so far, so a rude beginning to his relief effort here in the 6th inning. And Spiva got all of that one, not quite all, but enough to get a 2-bagger out of it. Nice play out there by Womack to get a 1 hop off the fence. And here comes Coach Eller. He's worn a path out there this inning.
Yep, already touched the right elbow, so we're going to see Bradley Kamak. And so that'll be the 4th pitcher of this ball game for GC. Tell you about the stud reliever for the Bobcats after we come back from this break. Listen to Georgia College Baseball on the Bobcat Broadcast Network.
So it's Bradley Kamak out on the hill now for the Bobcats, making his 21st appearance and his 18th in relief. He has a 10-2 record. He is tied with Charlie Heck for the most wins in the Peach Belt Conference right now. 2.59 earned run average, 66 innings pitched. He's given up 68 hits, 21 runs, 19 of which were earned, 85 strikeouts to 21 walks, and opponents are hitting .264 against Kamak, who is the 2018 version of Martin DeWald, the 2010 starter reliever, a guy who was able to do them both and do them both very well.
You talk about DeWald. He wound up on his national team for Germany after graduation. They were in the qualifying for that World Baseball Classic, and he threw a pitch and broke his arm.
Oh no!
Yep. So he had to have this, reconstructive surgery, and so maybe the mileage here at GC, I don't know. Obviously, he had an amazing career as a two-time All-American there, but that was a lot of mileage on that young man's arm by the time it was all said and done.
Yeah,
but now he's completely recovered from the surgery. He's a businessman and got a wife and a kid, so things are good for Martin. Pitch taken for a strike there. 0-1 the count here. This is Williams, Nicholas Williams, the third baseman from Thomasville, North Carolina, and a transfer from Guilford Tech. Junior, so probably in his first year with the Rams.
Kind of early in the weekend to see Mr. Kamak, don't you think?
Yeah, I don't think this is how it was drawn up. Of course, the hot shot back up the middle that caught Hecht in the shin shortened his day. Bunt to the right side. Purcell fires to first base, and then Schmall on the cover. Nice sacrifice bunt there. And it puts runner on third with one down.
Trying to get as many runs across against the number 8 team in the country. Getting that runner to third base with less than 2 out. And now Kamak's got to try and shut down Stewart. Stewart with a double and 2 trips.
Going to bring the infield in for the Cats as the 2-run deficit apparently is enough. And that one, not sure where it was. Guess it missed a little high, 1-0. Going to shorten the reaction time for those Bobcat infielders, though. And try and cut this run down at the plate. 1-0 pitch. Swung on and missed. Yep, strikeout would be a nice here.
It would be wonderful for Kamak and the Cats.
So Stewart with a 1-1 count. Working from the full windup here is Bradley. Bradley without the E and a big swing and a miss. 1-2. He was destined to be a baseball player. No E's, right? That's what you want.
That's right. And he does have a K at the end of the name.
Yep, that too.
As a pitcher.
Here's the 1-2. Swung on and fouled, sprayed to the right side. And it'll stay 1-2.
If he stays pitching and makes the big leagues, you think he'll change his name to Kamak with a K at the start? You know, why not?
Yeah,
start and end it.
Throw some K's in the middle, too. Why not?
Kamak attack.
And that's up and away just a hair. Even things out at 2-2. Swung on, and that'll get down into center field for a single. The infield end didn't really come into play on that hit as it drives in Spiva, and a 5-2 lead now for the Rams.
Nice job of hitting by Stewart. Just stayed back on it and drilled it up the middle.
Shortstop Wellington Guzman.
9th hit of the ball game, 5th run. All 5 have come in the last 2 frames. Guzman squares to bunt, pulls it back, takes the ball outside.
Well, we told you at the start of the broadcast, this team puts a lot of runs on the board. They average over 7 runs a contest. They've been known to compile some big scores against teams.
Another square to bunt, and that one's going to kick away from Purcell. And that one's going to be on the catcher, as that's ball 2. The pass ball allows Stewart up to second base. So another runner in scoring position now with just one down here in the 6th. Bobcats got to right the ship here.
Yeah, I was going to say, you just got to bear down right now and get a couple of outs and get out of this inning and get back into the dugout, see if you can make something happen your own.
Long set here. Take a look at second base. Dancing out there is Stewart. Check swing. Ball rolls foul down the first baseline. That's a good way to get your first strike. Unintendedly. Is that a word? Unintendedly?
It is now.
All right.
Guzman 0 for 2 with a fly to left and a strikeout swinging. That was still against Hecht.
No play at second there as Schmal was dancing over to cover and make Stewart think about it a little bit. 5 runs on 9 hits, 1 error for Winston-Salem State, 2 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Cats. Swung on, and this is going to get through the hole through the left side. Stewart's going to try and come to the plate. Stallings will throw to second as they concede that run. It's now 6-2, Winston-Salem State.
Had Gentry pulled over toward the second base bag a little more than usual, and Guzman was able to steer it right there in that spot and would collect his 30th run batted into the year.
5th run of the inning. And now we're back to the top of the order where the good hitters are. Well, the better ones anyway. As Norris here is the team leader in batting average and just about everything else. Pitch low and away. So we might not be out of the woods quite yet. Just 1 out, and Guzman over at first. And this one sent to third. Green will cut down the lead runner on to first for 2. Got him. Double play ball. Pitcher's best friend gets the Bobcats out of the inning. 5-4-3 it goes. And the inning comes to a close, but not until 5 runs come across on 5 hits. No errors, none left. And we will go to the bottom of the 6th, trailing big here at 6-2. Be right back with more Georgia College baseball and the 7, 8, and 9 hitters for the Cats in just a moment. The left field, back to the wall and out of here. A 3-run home run here for Spiva. That's going to go to right center. 1 hop the fence, extra bases. Throw in from Wesley Womack and standing. Swung on, and that'll get down into center field for a single. The infield end didn't really come into play. And this is going to get through the hole through the left side. Stewart's going to try and come to the plate. Stallings will throw to second as they concede that run. Bottom half of the 6th inning, and things kind of falling apart here for GC. Gave up 5 runs in the top of the 6th. Haven't seen us had an inning like that in quite a while.
Yeah, I was going to mention that my goodness, you don't usually see the Bobcats give up that many runs in 1 inning.
So now we're going to be on the comeback trail once again. Need 4 runs over the next 4 frames.
Yeah, just chip away, try to get 1 or 2 here, and every at bat and get back in this contest.
Cal Gentry at the plate, 1 for 2 for him today.
Let me see if I can find him on my chart here. Yes, you are correct, sir. 1 for 2 with a base hit his first time up.
Start him off low and away, ball 1.
Now Reeves has a 4-run cushion, so let's see how they'll play this. Let him take it as long as he can, I'm sure.
There's a fastball that didn't miss by a heck of a lot. 2-0 though. Cal, All-American a year ago at third base. Two-zero is on the outside black. Not a hitter's pitch there as Gentry lays off.
I think Cal moving back to his normal position at shortstop. He played shortstop for the Perry Panthers throughout his career there. I don't know if the move has done anything to the stick, but he's done well at shortstop.
2-1, and that one flutters in there on the outside black as well. 2-2 the count.
A long think about it.
So Gentry has taken a look at 4 pitches here on a 2-2 count. Swung on a little bit late, flares it to the left side. Looks like it might get out of play, and it does. Giving chase was Garcia, but it is on the other side of the tall fence down there down the left field line. Lots of foul territory to work with here at John Kurtz Field. So let's go again at 2-2 to our leadoff hitter of the inning. Chopped, and this one's going to be trouble. Going to get to Castillo, going to get underneath his glove. We're going to go infield single anyway. I think Gentry beats that thing out.
Yeah, Guzman did all he could to try and get that before it hopped again, and then it just went right underneath the glove and skipped away from him.
9th hit of the ball game for GC. We've almost evened out that category, but trailing a bunch in the one that matters most. Garrett Green at the dish. Bogart, Georgia native, up there near that Athens area. Garrett, a transfer from Division I USC upstate. This one rolled to the right side. Might be a problem there. No, comes up nicely for Stewart. Looked like he caught that kind of on the heel of his glove, but was able to stick with it for the ground out. Nice job there at second base.
Fine job by Stewart moving to his left there and was able to head it off before he could get into right field.
Yeah, he was at double play depth, kind of a little bit up the middle, so he had to kind of cover some ground there. One out, runner on second base for Caleb Slaughter, the Bobcat DH from Cochran, Georgia. What's Caleb done today here, Scott?
Got an 0 for 2, strikeout fly to right.
And takes a look at one. I guess it misses low there, 1-0. Transfer from Armstrong State. I believe in his at his third college in 4 years. He played 2 years at a JUCO as well. Caleb, a well-traveled Georgia baseball player. Foul back to the fence.
And that absorption of Armstrong into Georgia Southern really had to be tough on these guys that have already played a junior college, let's say, and they moved to Armstrong for 1 year, and you got to find another spot.
Yeah, I think Mike Warren, same deal. I believe he was at a junior college for 2 years. That one bounces out in front of the plate. Nice stop there by Parks behind the dish to allow her to keep Gentry at second base.
But as you said earlier, a lot of the GC programs have been able to take advantage of that change.
Yeah, I got one at volleyball, got one on the cross-country team, women's basketball. You know, I mean, they're all over the Bobcat athletic department. Women's soccer as well. This one fouled back and out of play. Also got me a student worker out of the deal.
Hey.
As Aaron Ferris from women's soccer also will work for me from time to time. Two the count here to Caleb Slaughter, trying to find one he can put a charge into here and eat into this Ram lead. Swung on and missed at the fastball up around the eyeballs. Helped him out there for the strikeout. 2 down. And we'll flip back to the top of the order, Matthew Miller.
That's the second time the Bobcats have really helped out. Reeves swinging at pitches high and away. Miller has a single and 2 official trips, walked his last time up in the 4th.
Miller needs a clutch hit here with 2 down. Something to the outfield will definitely score a run. Gentry runs well. Low and away to start off the Bobcat first baseman. Matthew making the adjustment over there to first base after playing in right field 2 years ago for us. And doing a pretty good job over there as well.
He's picked up some errant tosses that probably could have been errors and allowed base runners. He's done a fine job at first.
1-0, swung on late and fouled back to the fence.
He's a big target over there. Plus, he's got some really good footwork. Able to go get those low throws.
Enjoys Kurtzfield, hitting a .432 clip this year at home. Coming into the ball game. Need another hit here. The 1-1. Up and away. 2-1 to count, 2 down, runner on second. First of 3 between the Bobcats and Rams this weekend to finish off the regular season for all sports here at GC. Cut on and missed, and Miller evens things out. Get another Deuces Wild here at Kurtzfield. Another year nearly in the books.
How about that?
Only got 2 sports in action left. Bobcat softball in the Peach Belt Conference Tournament. Looks like they'll continue on to the Southeast Regional selections as well. I think that comes Tuesday. 2-2 pitch is up. And the count runs full as the drama builds here for Matthew Miller. Bobcat softball, as we mentioned earlier, beating Augusta University in the quarterfinals of the Peach Belt Conference softball tournament this morning. Had the morning game at 11 a.m.
Very first out of the gate, yep.
Going to be the first one tomorrow as well, 10 a.m. start. So brunch with the Bobcats.
There you go.
Up there in Dahlonega. Full count here for Matthew Miller. Got to be thinking that Reeves is going to come across with something. Came inside, cut on and miss. Miller got out in front of it, and he goes down on strikes. How many strikeouts for this fellow? It's been a few now.
Let's see now. That's 4 on the day, and they've all come in the last 2 innings.
Yeah, seems like they're all coming at pretty crucial spots, too, with runners on base. So, unfortunately, we leave another runner out there. It is 6 in the books. Scott will take you the rest of the way here in this 6-2 ball game. We'll be right back with more Bobcat baseball on the Bobcat Broadcast Network.
Head to the top of the 7th at the Kurtz. The Bobcats down by 4. 5 runs, 10 hits, an error for Winston-Salem State. For the Bobcats, 2 runs, 9 hits, and no errors so far. GC's 4th pitcher of the night, Bradley Kamek, on the hill. He came on to pitch in the 6th inning when the Bobcats put 3 pitchers out there. Gave up a couple of hits, which plated a couple of runs, and adding to the 4-run advantage for the Rams. It'll be Garcia, Ford, and Abreu against Kamek. Garcia 1 for 3 and almost gets hit by the pitch, and it's called a strike on the inside corner. Hello.
Must have had some break to it, I guess.
Late break over the corner. Count evens at 1-1 on Garcia. A single in the first inning, 2 strikeout looking. Last 2 trips to the plate. There's a strike, and the count goes 1-2.
Garcia's got that big timing mechanism, has the wide open stance and a nice big leg kick up front too. So some change-ups, off-speed stuff might mess with the timing a little bit.
Fouled off the fist straight back. Garcia, senior from Newport News, Virginia, 6 foot 196.
Newport News, that's the beach there, I believe, in Virginia. That's
And
the
a
main one.
big shipyard as well. And he got hit by the pitch there. Much to the dismay of a leather-lunged Winston-Salem State fan.
I'm going to say that's probably Papa Garcia right there if I had to guess. As I don't think there's any intent with a, what was that? It was a 2-2 pitch?
Yeah, got him inside too far. I think it came off that protective guard he had right around the elbow.
Yeah, unfortunately you lose that batter, though. You had 2 strikes on him. Now you got a base runner. And Ford at the plate, who singled his last time up. No, he had a double? Single. He had a hit.
Single to start that 6th inning. They almost hit around in the 6th. They had 8 men to the plate. Ford a single in 3 trips. Gentry, or rather Green, looking for bunt back to the pitcher's mound. Kamak didn't even look to second, got the runner at first. And the sacrifice is successful for Brandon Ford.
I mean, I know you want to go with the sure thing there, but in this humble broadcaster's opinion, I think they had a shot at him.
Emilio Abreu has a 1-for-2 night working. He also walked and scored back in that 6th frame when they put 5 on the board. The hit in the 4th inning was of the infield variety. Started off his night with a fly to center fielder Logan Maddox. Fastball nips the outside edge for a strike. Kamak, that was the 5th batter that he has hit on the season. And that'll give the Bobcat pitching staff 25 plunk batters. Looked to second in the pitch. Got the outside part of the plate again. And Abreu in a quickly 0-2 hole. He'll have to do some battling here. Try and spoil some pitches off before he can get one he likes. Bradley Kamak with a set at the belt. The 0-2 almost got him, and it knocked the face mask off Brandon Purcell. Goes back to the Rams on deck circle.
Tough gig back there behind the plate, you know. You don't wish that upon your worst enemy.
You got to be just so mentally tough.
Yep.
Because you're getting foul tips every part of your body.
Probably a little bit of physically tough as well, I imagine.
Pickoff play, nothing working for the Bobcats there as Garcia got back.
Yeah, Kamak kind of wheeled around and delivered that there.
So the 0-2 coming again to Emilio Abreu, their DH tonight. Pitches up high with a fastball. Bobcat bullpen is quiet right now. GC down by 4 in the 7th inning.
No, they've used a couple of pieces already, Scott.
Yeah.
Working on pitcher 4 here in the first game of a 3-game set.
Swing and a miss. Kamak got him on the fastball.
Big strikeout there, Scott. You get the out, the second out of the inning without Garcia moving from second base.
So there is the second out as Cole Parks will stand in. Parks with a 3-run home run in that 6th inning. His 5th round trip of the year. He's up to 32 runs batted in. Whatever Coach Ritchie talked to him about before his at-bat, it worked.
Well, Parks is probably the happiest guy in the facility to see Charlie Hecht head to the dugout as well.
Right.
As he went 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts there.
Yep, Hecht punched him out both times. In case you missed it, in the 5th inning, Charlie Hecht was knocked out of the ball game literally with a shot off his shin. 0-1 is outside. It's 1-1. No word from the dugout. We will not probably get anything on Charlie's situation. Just got him out of there. He threw one warm-up toss, and Coach Eller said that's enough. Got to have more from him next weekend. in the conference tournament. The 1-1 pitch. Strike two at the knees. Outside third. It's 1-2. Well, two of the region slots have already been filled. You talked about North Greenville winning the Conference Carolinas. They won the title back Monday.
Yeah, who got the other one there?
South Atlantic Conference goes to Lincoln Memorial, the number 9 team in the regional standings.
Well, good
so
for
that's
them.
a big shock. Strike three called. Kamek punches out the last two batters he faces and leaves a runner at second base. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th. It's 7th inning stretch time at the Kurtz. Bobcats got to get some runs, trailing 6-2 on the Bobcat Broadcast Network. Bobcats will send up Nate Schmall, Wesley Womack, and Brandon Purcell here in the 7th inning, trailing by 4. Getting a little bit late at the Kurtz. And Seth Reeves has done a very masterful job against the top hitting team in all of Division II baseball. The senior from Grays Creek limiting the damage, scattering 9 hits so far. 4 strikeouts, all of them coming in the last 2 innings by the Bobcat batters. Nate Schmall with a single in 2 official trips, also had a sacrifice bunt. And he looks at a strike, 0-1.
That pitch nowhere near where Parks, the catcher, wanted it. He wanted outside half, and it grabbed the inside half, but still a strike.
Again, Schmall just 1 percentage point behind the co-leaders at the top of the Peach Belt Conference in batting average. Park sets up outside again and gets it right there and gets rewarded with a strike call. And Nate down in an 0-2 hole. Cats need some base runners to rally here in the latter stages of this one. 0-2 pitch. Just missed. Reeves almost had himself a backward K in the books for the first time.
Well, Parks almost fired that down to third base as well. That's the defensive equivalent, I guess, of dropping the bat and heading to first when you think it's ball 4 and it's not.
1-2 pitch popped up into short center field. Trouble coming on is the center fielder. He won't get it. Knocked down. Nobody's at second base. First baseman Spiva hot-footed it over there to try to grab in a throw, and a leadoff double by Nate Schmall. It didn't go but, 120 feet?
Just a little flare of a pop-up there, up over the head of the shortstop Guzman. He almost got to it, and then made a sliding attempt to try and get to it, but with everybody going after the ball, that left nobody at second base, and Schmall, heady ball player that he is, takes second on the 10th hit of the ball game.
His 6th two-bagger of the year. That'll bring Wesley Womack to the dish. Wesley has a 1-for-2 game so far. Walked his first time up, flew out to center, and then a single to center in the 5th inning. Maybe that'll open up the floodgates for the Bobcat offense.
It doesn't have to be screaming line drives all over the ballpark. We'll by hook or by crook here if we need to, right?
We've proven this year that you don't need to hit the long ball all the time just to get some runs on the board. Bobcats in the home run category are third from last in the conference. Pitch is down low for a ball. It's 1-0.
Womack, freshman of the year in the Peach Belt Conference 2 seasons ago. Had a all-conference outfielder slot last season.
Wesley a chance to do some damage for the Bobcats as Reeves takes a long look to second and pitches. There's a strike at the letters on the outside edge. Squares things up at 1-1 for Wesley. Womack started the day at .390.
Outfield has him played just about dead straight. Center fielder Norris is directly up the middle of the field.
Pitch low and away. Nice knockdown by Parks. Schmall was dancing back toward the bag. Second baseman was on the move back to his position when Reeves turned the ball loose. Womack has enjoyed his time at the Kurtz this year. .449 batting average coming into tonight. Ball away. 3-1.
Wesley 394 coming into the game with runners in scoring position. 414 with runners on base.
See if the 3-1 pitch is to his liking. As Seth Reeves comes set and pitches. He'll rope it, right field, base hit. That should score Small, and they will allow him to score without a throw. And the Bobcats get on the board at 6-3.
Well, nice piece of hitting there from Wesley. Took a inside pitch and yanked it through the right side. Not much reaction time for Spivey over there at first base as it carried into right field.
Head coach Ritchie is out of the dugout.
Got that lefty warming up again.
You know, it's same guy who was tossing earlier in the contest, Thomas Goko, I believe, G-O-C-O.
I've got Reeves at 109 pitches with
Wow.
63 strikes, so this may be the end of his day. We'll have to see.
Don't know how soon Goko had been pitching and getting loose down there. Coach Ritchie's going to buy every second he can. He's going to ride it with Reeves, it looks like. So Seth Reeves dodges that bullet, and he'll have to face Brandon Purcell, who owns a 2-run homer off him back in the third inning, for the only 2 runs prior to this 7th inning scored by the Bobcats. Percy is 1 for 3 in the contest. A fly to left and a fielder's choice grounder to the pitcher. See if Purcell can tie into one again and get this ball game even closer. Reeves with the set and the deal, high and away, ball 1. Brandon, a 5-year player for the Bobcats. Redshirt senior from over near the coast.
Yep, redshirted that first year and then a starter pretty much the remaining 4. He spent freshman campaign as a DH and sometimes catcher behind Steve Hazel, our All-American catcher at the time.
It was hard to rate a lot of playing time behind the All-American there.
Yeah, Steve didn't cough that up too
No.
much, but got a pretty good stranglehold on that DH slot as a freshman, then took over catcher these final 3 seasons.
He'll pop that one out of play, and the count goes 1-2 on Brandon Purcell from Glenville, Georgia, and got his high school diploma from Tattnall County. Not Tattnall Square near here in Macon, but Tattnall County. Runner at first, a run in for the Bobcats. Still down by 2 in the bottom of inning 7.
Pretty good hitting catchers coming out of Georgia College. Nice little line of,
Yes.
you go from Purcell back to Hazel, and before that, Richard Perkle, who was a draftee of the Colorado Rockies. And even Pete Paris back a couple years before that. He was an all-conference guy for us, too. So some pretty good slugging catchers in Bobcat uniforms over the last 10 years or so.
Down in the dirt, Parks smothers it back behind the left-hand batter's box, and that loads the count up on Brandon Purcell. Well, you got Nate Schmall as a senior. He did some catching for the Bobcats last year and just a few games this year. So
Imagine
we're going to.
Sorry, Scott. You go ahead.
Going to say we're going to have to develop a catcher here.
Yeah, maybe Austin Holloway. He's seen a good amount of playing time for a true freshman this season.
Runner was going on a 3-2 pitch. It's popped out of play.
And Holloway has done pretty well with his limited action. Hitting 500. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Playing 13 ball games, 9 hits and 18 at bats. Driven in 3. So it may be his gig next year.
Jay Saunders, a freshman, is also on the roster out of Moultrie. Reeves tosses over to first. It's a huge lead at all for Wesley. Purcell awaits another 3-2 pitch. With nobody out, runner at first. Here it comes. Checks his swing, didn't mean to, and fouls it off his fist to the backstop.
Might have helped him out there. That was up and in a bit. But either way, you're still up there for another pitch.
And extend those pitches thrown by Reeves.
Yep, up to, 116 now, I believe, unofficially.
The 3-2 once more to Brandon Purcell. He'll foul out of play again. Staying alive at the plate is Percy.
Starting to cool down a little bit. Not enough for this displaced northerner, though. Hot day today.
3-2 again. High and inside, ball 4. And we've got fans going at it back and forth here as Purcell, with that great batting eye of his, took a high, tight one.
And that's going to be the end of the day of Reeves, as the second mound meeting here means that Coach Ritchie is going to make a change. We'll move from one lefty to another. Tell you about the new hurler, the first time to the bullpen for the Rams today. We'll be right back with more on the Bobcat Broadcast Network.
Tomas Goko comes on, his 21st appearance. All but one have been in relief. 2-0 on the year, 3.41 earned run average. He has a save. 34 and a third innings pitched. He's given up 29 hits, 18 runs, 13 of them earned. So he hasn't had a whole lot of help behind him. 46 strikeouts to 13 walks. So a good strikeout to walk ratio there. And opponents hitting .215 against the lefty, 6'8" junior from Clemens, North Carolina, and Catawba Valley Community College. So he'll be coming downhill at you. A lot of arms and legs coming at the Bobcats here in the 7th inning.
Very fluid motion from the left side as well. Seems, effortless as he flips the ball up there. And very long from that left side. That's going to shorten your reaction time at the plate considerably. Got a Randy Johnson-esque kind of build up there.
Seth Reeves got a big hug from several of his teammates. That's his final performance in a collegiate uniform, of course. The senior in the final series of the season. They do not have GCAA, I think it is. They do not have any kind of baseball tournament or anything like that. They don't even list baseball on their website. In the conference. CIAA. That's it.
Right?
CIAA. It used to be. They used to be part of the South Atlantic Regional and the South East Regional, but CIAA has done away with baseball for some reason, even though most of their teams do participate in the sport. So they bring in another left-hander, and it'll be Logan Maddox to greet him. Logan 1 for 3 with a double his middle trip after a ground out and before a strikeout. Got to get this bat going, my friend, if we're going to have any success in the postseason.
Yeah, it's a big spot here. You want to get your most seasoned batter up there. And he represents the game's tying run, and he has an affinity to sending the ball over the fence from time to time.
Yeah, he comes up big in big moments, and he has all throughout his career. And let's see if he can come up one more time at the Kurtz in this situation.
Maddox loving play here at home this season. .481 to batting average with 5 home runs and 39 RBI here at John Kurtz Field.
He's got first and second and nobody out. Bobcats with a run to cut to lead to 6-3, and he takes a strike. Count goes 1-1.
Maddox a .440 batter against lefties. .385 with runners in scoring position as well.
Long look down to Coach Eller in the third base box, see if a play is on. Goko with the set and the 1-1. Just got a piece of it and not swinging very well at all is Logan Maddox.
Well, had a double earlier in this ball game that one hopped the fence and left center, but just doesn't look quite as comfortable against the new pitcher here. Again, that long frame, the ball kind of hangs behind his back some.
Guzman, the shortstop, playing over toward second base a bit more than you would expect with a right-handed hitter, so Maddox has a nice hole there on that left side.
Yeah, nice gaps really on both sides.
Yeah, they're really choking it up the middle on him. The 1-2 coming to low. And it's lined but foul down the right field line. That would have scored them both. But he missed a double by a couple of feet. 1-2 now to Maddox.
Yep, would have scored them both. Probably would have been a triple for Maddox as well as that rattles down around in the corner. Got a right-hander warming up for the Rams down there. Early goings as looks like a bit of a sidearm delivery for him. Might see him if this inning continues.
So the 1-2 again to Logan Maddox. Runners are going, swing and a miss for strike 3. Throw to third is not in time. Double steal for the Bobcats, but Maddox could not make contact on the hit and run. Womack gets a steal, so does Purcell on the back end of the double steal. That's the first out of the inning, and at least GC has an opportunity with all the sacrifice flies we've hit on the season, a chance to do it once again here with a runner at third and less than 2 out. Bobcats number 1 on the Peach Belt in sacrifice flies on the campaign, as Georgia College has come up with 38 sacrifice flies.
Stallings has come to the plate 10 times prior in this situation with a runner on third and less than 2 out, and has 8 RBI to show for it.
Not bad at all. He has but 1 sacrifice fly on the season. Brandt on the night, 1 for 3. Base hit his first time up in the second inning. Fly to center and a strikeout swinging. Deep in that right-hand hitter's box, and he cuts and misses. Right on it, straight back, and it's 1-1. Bobcats with a run in the 7th to make it a 6-3 ball game and trying to do some more damage against Winston-Salem State. Pretty well straight up in the infield and the outfield against Brent Stallings. 1-1. Helped him out on a pitch low and away. Goodness, that's twice that Brant has offered in his last 2 at-bats on pitches well outside the zone.
Yep, just a little bit over aggressive in these last 2 at-bats. Maybe shorten things up a little bit. Focus on the contact here.
Normally he does choke up with 2 strikes on him, and he's choked up just a tad here. 1-2 pitch. Reaches out, hits it into right field. Coming on strong is Ford. He'll make the catch. Here's the tag at third. The throw will not be cut off, and scoring is Wesley Womack. Didn't even go into a slide. The Bobcats have cut it to a 6-4 ball game. So there's sacrifice fly number 2 on the year for Stallings, number 39 on the season for Georgia College.
Well, had the shortened up the swing a little bit, did Brant there. Took that outside pitch and just kind of flipped it up into the sky there in right field. Ford did a good job, just about everything he could. He was throwing on the run. It was all geared up for a play at the plate, and even was playing toward his dominant hand as he was coming toward the line a little bit, but the throw too hot the plate, and Womack beat it.
And Purcell took advantage of it by taking the extra base, so he's at third with 2 out now for Cal Gentry. Bobcat shortstop awaits the first pitch, and he'll charge one out of play left side. Gentry with a pair of base hits and 3 trips. A hit to left field in the 2nd inning and an infield single in the 6th inning. In between, it was a ground out to second baseman Stewart. GC back within 2 here in the 7th inning, trying to add to it and chip into that deficit even more. And there's a liner to center field. It's going to get down for a base hit as Gentry scores. Brandon Purcell, and the Cats are down by only 1 now.
Well, that flare to center, just enough on it to drop it into the outfield grass. Guzman, the shortstop, gave an initial attempt at it and kind of stumbled as he hit the outfield turf. I don't know if he would have had a chance at it regardless, but that definitely helped on the play. And an RBI single there from Gentry. He's got 2 hits today.
3.
Oh, geez, okay.
So
that's better than 2.
Yes, 1 more better than 2 by my math. It's good to see him coming back around with the bat. Here's Garrett Green trying to keep it going. 1 for 3 on his effort at the plate today. Outside with a fastball, 1-0.
It's the 5th game this year for Gentry with 3 hits plus, and 18 multi-hit games on the year now for Cal.
Cal up to 29 runs batted in on the season. So GC with a 3 spot, crooked number up there here in the 7th inning. And back within 1. Right over the top with a fastball, and it misses low. Green has the count go to 2-0. Slaughter due up next as the Bobcat DH in the number 9 hole tonight. Gentry with a minimal lead at first. Tomas Goko with the set and the 2-0, waved at and missed. He chased a hard one that was above the letters, it looked like.
Yeah, something about those fastballs up today. Bobcats having some trouble with them. And if you're a Winston-Salem pitcher, you're probably going to stay right up there until we can show a little bit more discipline, I imagine.
Goko with the set. 2-1. Reaches out, taps it foul back to the backstop. Might have helped him out again.
Yeah, that there was a protective swing from Green as he had made up his mind to pull the trigger and realized it was a ball, just got enough of it to foul it off.
And that'll earn him a quick chat with Coach Eller between third base and home. So deuce is wild, Al Weston. here in the 7th inning. GC has really dented that big lead, but still trailing by 1. Hoping for some more 2-out magic off the bat of Garrett Green.
Green 404, the batting average with runners on base coming into the ball game.
Goko dangles that ball down in the left hand as he takes a sign. The 2-2. Runners going. Pitch is fouled out of play right side. Elder put the hit and run on again, and Green couldn't straighten it out. Man, doesn't this place look nice at night?
Yeah, it's a good setup. The grass is nice and green. You got the mow lines there in the outfield. I mean, it's grounds crew doing a great job this year, as always.
Lighting is beautiful out here.
Yep, I don't have any lights out or anything.
Tap foul, he stays alive. Green just trying to find something he can work with. And the count remains 2-2.
Got the pines out in center is like a natural batter's eye.
Yeah, yeah. And that circles all the way around right field. It's 330 down the lines, unless they did something this year, moving the fence in. I don't think they did.
Yeah, I think it's all the same.
And I think 365 to the gaps.
I'd like to see some bigger foul poles. I've talked about that with some of the crew up here. I think if we can extend those up a little bit, I think that'd look a little bit more classy.
Ground ball to second. Comes up nicely for Stewart. He'll flip to second for the force out. And that'll do it. But the Bobcats pick up 3 runs, and they do it on 3 hits and strand a base runner. We've gone through 7. Cats are back in it. It's a 6-5 lead for Winston-Salem States. Back with the 8th inning in a minute on the Bobcat Broadcast Network. Well, the Bobcats have gotten right back in it, and now it's Kamek to try and shut down Winston-Salem State the next couple of innings and hope that his offense can respond and he can come up with a big win. Spiva, Williams, and Stewart, 6, 7, 8 in the Rams lineup here.
First baseman Luke Spiva.
A double and 3 trips for Luke. And he cuts on the first pitch and misses, 0-1. This will be his first at bat against Bradley Kamek. Luke out of Winston-Salem, a freshman. Played his high school ball about this time last year at Ledford High.
Local product up there.
Yeah, quite a few guys from Winston-Salem are on the roster here for the Rams. Cut and a miss again. And it's quickly 1-2. He'll walk out of the batter's circle and regroup. They even got a guy from back in my neck of the woods, South Haven, Michigan. They used to be in our conference when I was growing up. It's outside, 2-2. And he played college ball at Henry Ford Community College.
Okay.
Over near Detroit.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's near Detroit.
Yeah, I think it is. I'm just guessing myself. Oh, just missed outside. Earlier in the ball game, that was a strike. But not here in the 8th inning. And Spiva has worked at 3-2. Bradley deals. Fouled off the fist, left side up on the hill. Count remains 3-2. Bobcats have finally out-hit the Rams at 12-10, but we still trail in the column that matters the most. Kamek's payoff pitch again. That's hit in the air to center field. Maddox will cruise to his left and back a few steps, makes the one-hand grab. That one kind of fell away from him just a little bit further than he thought possibly.
Well, Gold Glovers can get away with that
Yeah.
kind of thing from time to time.
Yeah, you can just handle it out there, no problem.
Third baseman Nicholas Williams.
One up, one down in the 8th inning. It's Nicholas Williams coming up. Nick on the night, 0 for 2. Or Nick at night, how about that?
Yep.
0 for 2 with a sacrifice bunt. Strikeout and a fly to right. Didn't catch up to the heat, 0-1.
Yeah, Bradley bringing a pretty good fastball right now. Fully warmed up, just 36 pitches into this relief outing. He can go for a while.
He buzzed another one by him, 0-2.
Got helped out there up and around the eyeballs. Good to see some guys in red and gray doing that for a change instead of the pinstripes.
There you go. Kamek deals 0-2. And just a piece of it to stay alive. 2 o'clock first pitch tomorrow. Before that, though, it's senior day, as all the seniors of the 2018 squad will be honored.
Something new this year. Going to have each of the seniors. They're picking somebody influential in their lives to throw out a ceremonial first pitch. We're going to do all of them at once.
Really?
Yep.
Outstanding. That's nice.
Most of them, of course, picking fathers and that kind of stuff. I thought that was kind of a neat aspect. We did it over at softball. Went real well. And God, the name escapes me right now. But Bailey Hall chose her summer ball coach for over at softball, and it was Georgia College baseball alum Collins. Will Collins, is that right?
Yeah, Will Collins.
Yeah.
He was part of the 95 team that went to the World Series. Strike 3 taken by Williams. He's the second out here of the 8th inning. We will. Heck of a center fielder. He was one of those guys, had a lot of speed, like most of our center fielders have been the last 20 years now. Been able to go get some balls.
Roughly about 5'8",
5'9".
Yeah, something like that. Okay.
Yeah. That'll bring Stewart to the plate, and he takes first pitch low for ball 1. Stewart on the night has a pair of hits, a double and a single and a strikeout. He has also scored a run, stolen a base, driven in a run as well. So pretty good night for the second baseman. And that one missed again, and it's 2-0. And Will married one of the softball players here at GC, Lee. I can't remember what her maiden name was, but 2-1 now the count. So that's going way back. 23 years since 95. Am I that old?
I'll let you say it.
Okay. Deuce is wild, Mr. Weston.
Yeah, let's change the subject.
There you
back
go.
to
Let's
what's
go
in
right
front of
back
us
to
here.
what's going on here. Present day, Scott. 2-2 pitch from Kramick trying to shut him down. 1-2-3 in the 8th inning. Heat missed away. 3-2. Kamek with a payoff. Got him swinging. Back-to-back strikeouts for Bradley Kamek. And the Bobcats set down the Rams in the 8th inning. GC trails by 1. We go to the bottom of the 8th on the Bobcat Broadcast Network. Bobcats need a run to tie, 2 to take the lead in the bottom of the 8th inning. Caleb Slaughter set to hit first for the Bobcats, then back to the top of the order for Miller and Schmall.
Just need some base runners here, Scott. Got some guys coming up that can tie this with one swing of the bat, but obviously it's a little bit easier if you can get some runners on base and make some things happen defensively that way.
Caleb with a couple of strikeouts and a fly to right for his night at the dish. Goko on the hill. And the second pitcher of the night for the Rams tosses a ball low, 1-0. Josh Larson, a right-handed junior, is up and throwing in their bullpen. He was up last inning as well. 1-0 pitch, tapped toward third, but it's going to go foul in front of Coach Eller and skip to the fence line, past the dugout. 1-1.
If you do get Slaughter on here, got to imagine we'll probably see Mike Warren out there to pinch run.
Mm-hmm. Slaughter digs in on the 1-1. Cut and a miss. Helped him out with a pitch low.
It ticked something there. Not sure if he got a piece of it to foul it off or if that was the glove of Parks back there behind the dish. But either way, that pitch well out of the zone.
So he's down 1-2. Goko looks in for the sign. The big guy goes to work and slap to the right side, but going to get out of play, foul. Tardy on the swing with Slaughter. Had home run distance there, but faded foul.
Yeah, again, you see the power there of Slaughter.
He didn't really get any legs or anything into it. That was all upper torso.
Yep.
1-2 pitch. Up the middle, base hit. There he goes. Goko reached up with a bare hand to try and snare it.
Hey, almost had it too. That was real close.
Well, he's 6'8", you know.
Not going to get much over him, are you?
That's right. It's kind of hard to get over him, but it did as Slaughter gets his first knock of the night, and we will get a pinch runner as Mike Warren will come on to run for him. So Slaughter gets the 8th inning going well.
It's running for the Bobcats, number 16, Mike Warren.
And for Warren, he'll be coming on for his 39th appearance of the season.
Yeah, one of the leaders in the Peach Belt Conference in stolen bases last year at Armstrong. This season, 8 of 9 in stolen base attempts, if you're thinking about it. Miller earlier in the ball game, not sure if we mentioned it, Scott, but hit streak up to 23
exactly.
in a row now.
I forgot to mention that in that third inning base knock of his. He scored the first run of the day for the Bobcats, and he takes a pitch low for ball 1.
That's the longest active streak for any of the Bobcats and the longest of the season as well. It beats the 21-game hit streak by Garrett Green.
Bobcat first sacker is 1 for 3 in this contest, also a walk. Didn't show bunt first time and doesn't show bunt now. It's inside. 2-0. So Goko seeing the zone elude him on the first 2 offerings to Matthew Miller. Nobody out. Tying run at first base in the 8th inning. The lefty with the set and the 2-0. That one is low and inside, 3-0. Well, you turn him loose here.
Well, Miller, pretty disciplined hitter, doesn't strike out a bunch. You know, he's got to shorten the zone, look for the perfect pitch here.
Coach Eller flashed some signs. We'll see if a play is on for the Cats. The 3-0 offering to Matthew Miller. And there's a strike that was halfway to making.
A little bit up and away.
3-1. Toss to first. Warren did not have a huge lead.
Yep, was leaning back toward the bag as well, but also kind of bluffing runs there. Stomped his lead foot a couple of times just to throw off the pitcher some.
Got that long, lanky left-hander looking at him. See if he can unreel and throw a snap throw to first. 3-1 pitch, fouled off straight back, and it's now full. Miller has seen the count go 3-2 after a 3-0 start. GC with 13 hits in the contest compared to 10 for the Rams.
Wonder if maybe you get Magic Mike running here on the full count. Nobody out, though.
Yeah, you don't want to run yourself out of it. But he does have the speed to swipe it, as you said. Goko with a payoff pitch. He's going and swing and a foul out of play. Don't know if it was a steal straight or if it was hit and run. I would have to guess hit and run.
Quite a bit late on that pitch was Miller. You see him talking to the home plate umpire there to see if that pitch would have been in the zone had he not swung. It looked a little bit high, but probably too close for comfort there.
So we'll go with a 3-2 offering one more time. From Goko to Miller. Outside, ball 4. Runner was going again. So a hit and a walk have given the Bobcats some life here in the 8th inning. They're down by 1 run, and the tying run now 180 feet away. And that may be it for for Goko, as Coach Ritchie is out of the dugout.
Interesting spot here with Schmall at the dish. Do you drop a bunt down to put runners in scoring position for Womack, or do you let the leading hitter in the Peach Belt Conference hit?
Have you got a batting average update on him?
I don't, but
okay.
I mean, at this point,
yeah,
I got to think it's up there.
He is 2 for.
He only needed what, like 2%, right?
2% to take the lead. I would imagine at 2 for 3 night right now with a sacrifice. A double and a single for him. Home plate umpire will hurry along the confab here. Let's see if Coach Ritchie's going to stay with Goko. And looks like he will. So the long lefty will get a shot at Nate Schmall.
I think the Bobcats were thinking that pitching change was coming.
Yeah.
Because they've cleared the bases.
So
and are over here talking. Got to get back out there, fellas. We still got baseball left to play.
Miller was halfway to the third base line and then did one of those pirouette whoops. Got to get back there because Coach is still talking. So now we're going to get him out.
Yeah, I think they were thinking pitching change there. That was just the first meeting of the inning, right?
Correct.
He had one last inning, I think, with this guy. Maybe Coach Eller and the gang thought that was meeting number 2 and the change was coming. I don't know.
Well, you know, baseball would tell you probably that they would have relieved him, but Goko's going to get a shot at Schmall, like we said.
The next 2 hitters lefties, so that works in his favor a little bit.
Exactly.
What do you do here? Does Nate get the bunt down? What do you say?
They're dancing all over the place out near second. Nate's going to bunt. Beauty down the third base line. Goko can't field it. Everybody's safe. That'll be a hit for Nate Schmall, his 3rd of the night, and the Bobcats with an opportunity here in the 8th inning for the big rally. Wow, he laid it down perfectly on that third base line. Goko, all those long arms and legs, couldn't get over there and get down low enough.
Well, I wonder if that kind of hurt him a little bit because it's a long way to get all the way to the ground to get that ball, you know. I mean, there's a lot of frame to try and reach all the way to the ground. Bases all loaded up here for Wesley Womack.
Yep, no place to put Wes. A Bobcat at every base and nobody out in the 8th inning. Slaughter's runner Warren on at 3rd. Miller at 2nd. Schmall at 1st.
Womack 4 for 7 with the bases loaded this year. That's a .571 batting average.
Wesley has had hits his last 2 trips, including an RBI single. His 36th ribby. Down low and away, and a great stop by Parks, and he is bent over. He is not pleased with that.
Got time called here by the home plate umpire.
I don't know if it got a piece of Parks, and that's what the umpire was giving him some time to recover.
No conversation on the way back as Parks headed out to the hill to talk things over with Goko.
It appeared that he got crossed up on the pitch. He was expecting something other than what he got.
And maybe that's what Goko and Parks were coming together on there. Still working from the stretch with the bases loaded up here.
1-0 the count on Wesley Womack. All-conference outfielder last year, and he checks his swing and fouls it to the top of the backstop.
Yeah, cheap strike there. If you're going to offer at it, you want to get that full charge into it. Got to imagine this is probably Goko's last batter. Got righties coming up next in Purcell and Maddox. And a righty ready to go. Also warming up another lefty out there are the Rams.
Outside again. It winds up behind the right-hand hitter's box. 2-1 now. Hitter's pitch coming up to a big hitter in Wesley Womack. Womack .320 batting average against lefties prior to tonight.
I think the righty thinks that he's coming in as well as he stopped throwing.
2-1, bounces up there. What a pick by Parks. That was a goalie save right there.
It was all leather, too.
Yes.
It skipped out in front of the right-hand batter's box.
So one more bad one, and we're tied up. It's 3-1 to Wesley Womack. Will he get the easy RBI? And not this contest up in the 8th inning. Goko's 3-1 pitch. Off the fist, right side, base hit. 1 run comes in. Warren scores easily. Rounding third, heading to the plate and scoring standing up is Miller, and the Bobcats have come off the deck to lead it 7-6. Womack with 2 more ribbies, up to 38 for the year. He's had 3 great at-bats his last 3 trips.
Ball came inside on Wesley. He got out in front of it a little bit and just directed it through the right side, and that's going to bring an end to the day for Goko, the reliever, as the Bobcats will get him out of here.
Shows you how
7-6.
Sorry, Al. Shows you how strong Wesley is, because that was in on the fists. He just got the handle on it and was still able to drill it into right field. And it's enough to give the Bobcats the lead, and here comes the reliever in for the Rams, and we'll tell you about him when we come back on the Bobcat Broadcast Network. Bobcats have taken the lead, still nobody out, and GC will have runners at first and second, and a new pitcher coming in for Winston-Salem State. It's Josh Larson.
Larson making his 15th appearance. He's got a 6-1 record, a 4.56 ERA. 25 2/3 innings pitched, 27 hits against him. 18 runs, 13 of them earned, 14 walks to 30 strikeouts. Got like a 2-to-1 ratio there. Opponent's hitting .265 against the right-hander, bringing in the righty to take on these next couple of righties in the Bobcat order. As Larson is relief pitcher number 2 for the Rams.
He'll be squaring off against Brandon Purcell, with Womack at first and Schmall on at second. I believe might be at third. I'll have to see.
I got him at second.
Second, okay.
Larson Jr., 6'3", 190, from Southport, North Carolina, and transfer from Guilford Tech. I think that's 2 Guilford Techs. No, about 3 transfers from Guilford Tech on the lineup, including third baseman Nicholas Williams.
Number 11, Brandon Purcell.
Yeah, 2 guys in the same class and another guy a year behind him from Guilford Tech.
Oh, we got Wile E. Coyote at the top of the hill, and he's shoved that boulder. He just kind of tipped it up over there. It's rolling down at the Roadrunner right now. Right?
Beep, 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 baby.
Yeah.
7-6.
That's the Bobcat offense.
That's right.
The last couple innings picked up 5 runs.
Here comes that big boulder. It's hard to stop it. Squaring to bunt. Bunts it back toward the mound. Only play is to first, and nobody's there. A 45-foot infield single on a bunt by Brandon Purcell. He's gone yard, and he's gone short. Wow.
It's a big difference. But either way, it goes in the box score like a screaming line drive.
There you go. A little bit of miscommunication by the Rams. Second baseman failed to cover on the bunt back to the mound. So the bags are still full of Bobcats, or again full of Bobcats, again with nobody out. And Logan Maddox with a chance to really put some damage in the Bobcat column. A double in 4 trips. He has struck out his last 2 plate appearances. They're up around the infield. And Logan screams one down the left field line, but it's foul. Looking for another grand slam in his career.
Yep, Logan unloading on that one. Bases loaded scenarios. How about 7 of 9 on the season? That's a 778 batting average.
Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. You've got Schmal at third, Womack at second, Purcell on at first.
Infield in for the Rams. I fear for their safety.
I do too, with Womack at the Maddox at the plate, excuse me. That one bounces up to Parks. And it's 1-1. Logan, not the biggest of builds, but he can really make contact with the baseball. Listed at 6 foot 180. But does have the power. 1-1 pitch. Ooh, he ripped it one and fouled it back.
Yeah, might have helped him out a little bit
Yeah.
there. That looked up above the letters.
Cats have been doing a lot of that tonight. GC with a 7-6 lead in the bottom of the 8th inning, and they want more with nobody out and no place to put Logan Maddox. Larson with a long look in. Now he sets in the 1-2. Down the middle, a bit low. 2-2 now the count on number 2. GC with a 5 spot in the last 2 at bats. 3 in the 7th and 2 more here so far in the 8th. Maddox tags one to left center field. It's going to be caught. Nice diving.
Nope, got out.
Got past him. Dropped it, and 2 runs will score for the Bobcats. Norris with a great effort, but it skipped away from him as he made contact on the ground. It'll be a single and 2 RBI for Logan Maddox, and the Bobcats lead it 9-6.
Wow, great effort, like you said, from Norris. Nearly saved at least a run there. Got to think a sacrifice fly would have come regardless, but instead it just trickles out of the end of his glove while he's laid, completely out horizontal. And Maddox comes up big again with the bases loaded again. 7-9 coming in, so that's 8 of 10.
A little 80% average.
Yeah, cool 800 batting average with the bases loaded.
And now those 2 RBI put him up to 60 for the year.
Okay, so an even 60 for Logan Maddox. He's among the Peach Belt Conference leaders in runs batted in. Let's see where that puts him. That's going to be 3rd as he gets ahead of Perez up there at North Georgia. Came into the ball game tied up with him.
There was 9 behind the leader coming into tonight's. He's still got a shot at maybe taking the RBI crown.
Yeah, long weekend, and the leader is UNC Pembroke's Jackson, and no action for Pembroke this weekend.
Big cut and a miss by Brant Stallings. He tried to touch them all with that swing. Nobody out. Runners at first and second. The Bobcats have put 4 on the board here in the 8th inning to retake the lead. They led early 2-0. Pitch is away. The wild pitch will push the runners up to second and third with Purcell on to third, Maddox at second. The Rams had taken a 6-2 lead as they got a run back and knocked out Charlie Hecht in the 5th inning, and they put 5 on the board in the 6th. The Bobcats have battled ever since, and way high with the next pitch. It's 2-1. Another lefty throwing in their bullpen. They're going through a lot of pitchers in this first game of the 3-game set. Of course, the Bobcats have used 4 pitchers as well. The set, the 2-1 pitch. Caught on and missed, 2-2. Again, the infield up, trying to choke off some runs here. And keep it right where it's at 9-6 Bobcats. Larson with the set, the 2-2. Tag to right field, back on it, and he's going to make the catch. Here's the tag by Purcell. He'll score with ease. The throw will go to second to cut off, actually. And the sac fly by Stallings gives him his second straight sacrifice fly. His second straight run batted in. He's up to 31 for the year, and the Cats have put 10 on the board and lead it by 4.
Man, just like that, 10 runs coming across, 8 in the last 2 innings. Again, it just happens in bunches, comes infectious for the Bobcat offense. It's got to be tough to combat. You know, you got a ball game here where you think you have things in order heading into the late innings.
Right.
And no, you don't.
Nope. Sorry. We're still playing. Cal Gentry with a single and a run driven in the 7th inning. His 3rd hit in 4 trips.
Scott, out of town scoreboard. The only other action, there's some other ball games that were on the schedule, must have been canceled or something. There's only one other game that actually played today, but it looked like there was 4 total on the schedule. Columbus State at North Georgia, and the Cougars are up 15-2 in the 8th.
Whoa.
Yep, so it looks like they're going to start that 3-game series with a victory there, as that's going to mess around with the positioning for the Peach Belt tournament coming up. I think they might be able to catch USC Aiken for the 2 seed, Columbus, with a sweep.
Popped up behind home plate, foul territory near the Bobcat dugout, but it's going to get right over the backstop and bounce off the concrete walkway. And it is 0-2 now on Cal Gentry. Well, the Bobcat coaches in the dugout before the game today were worried about the North Georgia and Columbus State setup, because if North Georgia had swept, they would have leapfrogged Columbus for 3rd place. And that would have pushed Columbus into the Bobcat pool for the Peach Belt tournament.
Yeah, as it stands, pretty tough pool for Georgia College, as I think they're going to have Lander and UNC Pembroke as well.
Ground ball to the right side. Gentry almost legged it out. He's out on Stewart over to Spiva. 2nd out of the inning, and moving over to 3rd is Maddox. And they will open up. The Bobcats will.
The 3rd baseman, number 1.
In the pool play, I've got the note somewhere here. I've got too many notes to look at, I guess. That'll teach me to do all this extra stuff, huh?
All your notes.
Yes, indeed. We'll try to. It looks like the Bobcats have that. Of course, as the number 1 seed, as that one's fouled straight back. Garrett Green is the 9th man to hit this inning, so the Cats hitting around in the 8th. And 5 on the board. For Garrett, 1 for 4 on his night. A base hit back in the 4th inning up the middle. Pitch is inside, almost got a piece of him.
Yeah, came with a slider there that didn't slide enough.
Bobcats will play Lander on Friday the 11th, and that'll be an early start. I think they've got the first game out of the box.
Dang it.
Yeah. Brunch for the Bobcats again, huh?
Once again. Well,
then they'll play a doubleheader on Saturday down in St. Augustine. They'll take on Pembroke, and then they're looking at North Georgia, I guess, after.
Scott, what am I looking at a drive to St. Augustine? How long is that going to take?
That's about a 6-hour trip. Yeah.
Man.
Hey, hop on board the bus, buddy.
It's my son's birthday the day before.
Oh.
So I was planning on hanging for that and then leaving the next day in the morning. Now I don't know if I got that first game.
First game, yep, that's tough.
Dog game, yeah, what are you going to do? I thought for sure with us being the top seed, we'd get, nice and late in the day.
Right.
I guess that's not how it works. Got to talk with my friends up there at the Peach Belt, see if I can get this worked out.
Deuce is wild here for Garrett Green. And he'll pop it up in the infield right side. Larson gives away to his first baseman, and Ford will make the catch. Spivak, excuse me, will make the catch. But a big inning for the Bobcats. They put 5 on the board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. And GC will have a 10-6 lead going to the 9th with Kamak on the mound. Try and shut them down. Back in a bit on the Bobcat Broadcast Network. Well, for Bradley Kamak, it is deja vu all over again. That's the way most of his season has gone here. He's entered some ball games with the Bobcats behind. They rally to take the lead, and he's got an opportunity to get his 11th win of the season here tonight.
Well, that would lead the Peach Belt Conference.
Indeed.
If he can get these 3 outs without allowing 4 runs to come across.
He shut them down in the 8th inning, 1-2-3 with a couple of strikeouts. Guzman is going to single on the first pitch to left field, though. And there's still a pulse for the Rams as Guzman comes up with his second hit in 4 trips tonight. Kamak came on in the 6th inning when the Bobcats had 3 pitchers. Spinner started, gave up a single, and was yanked. Amison came on and walked a guy, gave up a 3-run home run and a double, and that was his night. And Kamak came into the contest. I can't say it.
Kamak contest?
Kamak came into the contest.
Well, now dealing with a base runner over there. I'll buckle down, focus on this thing, finish it off.
It's Norris, the top of the order here. Looks at the hook low and away.
Norris, super athletic, has been a bit of a trouble for us. Really pretty much everybody all season long.
2 for 4 in his contest here at the Kurtz. There's a strike. 1-1 now. Drove in a run with a single in the 5th inning. Stole his 34th base of the year. Had a single back in the 1st inning to start the contest, but was stranded at 3rd. 1-1 pitch off the fist foul to the top of the backstop. 1-2 now on the talented center fielder for these Rams, Randy Norris.
Lanky Guzman over at first base runs pretty well.
Again, a foul to the backstop.
Something in the gap, he might be able to score.
Fortunately, the Bobcats have that 4-run cushion, and we've got somebody up and tossing in the bullpen, a lefty throwing.
Yeah, it's Logan Howard out there.
Okay.
Hopefully we won't need him.
So both teams have gone to the well a lot.
Yeah, especially for a Friday night ball
Yeah.
game, you expect your aces to get you going.
1-2 pitch, going to have to hurry. Gentry throws, won't get him on an infield single. And the Norris fan club explodes.
Yeah, I had no shot at Norris over at first base. You can see how he's the leading hitter in school history with stuff like that. I mean, just roll the ball onto the ground and beat it out. He's got that type of speed. And now 1st and 2nd here. Tying run still, what, on deck, right?
Yep. Garcia at the dish now. He is 1 for 3. Got hit by a pitch his last time up in the 7th. He tries to bunt, bunts it foul first base side. A running slap bunt almost.
Yeah, I don't think that was sacrifice intention there. That
Nope.
was trying to load the bases up and get that game's tying run to the plate.
Not out of the woods yet are the Bobcats. GC trying to win its 20th game at home for this 2018 season. stretch a win streak to 2 games in a row and give them 37 victories on the year. Got to get 3 more outs. There's a pitch away, and it's 1-1.
Purcell trying to frame that one, couldn't quite bring it back into the plate area.
Bobcats not holding that runner at first base. He does not represent much of a run there for them. 1-1 pitch. Checks his swing on a high, hard one. Did he go? The appeal says no. And it's 2-1.
Lots of hits in this ball game, Skag. Got
Yeah.
29 total.
2 really good offenses going at it here.
That's your prize fight that way.
Right down Hancock Street for a strike, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, just dialed up the fastball there. And it wasn't to Garcia's liking location-wise, so he evens things out at 2-2.
Well, we told you the Bobcats came in averaging 9.5 runs a ball game. They've now scored 422 runs on the year. 2-2 pitch, cut out and missed. Kamak with a big punch out. That was needed with runners at first and second and nobody out. They get an out and no advancements. And for Kamak, that'll be his 5th strikeout since coming on. Brandon Ford at the plate. Bobcats are looking for a double play to end it. Ford a 1-for-4 plate appearance so far. Base hit back in the 6th inning and a run scored when they put 5 on the board. First pitch, strike outside corner. Ford with a fly to right. Pop foul to third baseman Garrett Green. And then the base hit and the ground ball back to the pitcher, Kamak. Bradley deals outside, 1-1.
Got Kamak up over 60 pitches here. Starting to reach toward the end of a comfortable relief outing for him.
Fastball drilled foul. He's ahead now 1-2. And you don't know, Coach Belcher, the pitching coach, says he does have a good rubber arm that can bounce back, but I mean, over 60 pitches on Friday, you don't know about coming back at all.
Yeah, definitely not tomorrow, I got to think at
Right.
this point. Might see him Sunday.
Maybe a save situation if necessary. Here's the 1-2. Tap to the right side. Schmall's only going to have one play. That's at first, and he gets him. Ball was hit too slowly to try and get the double play, and it kind of took a funky bounce over there to Nate.
Yeah, Bobcats willing to trade bases for outs there, obviously. As still the Rams have not brought up the game's tying run yet. He's still on deck with now 2nd and 3rd and 2 down.
It's up to Abreu to keep the ball game going for the Winston-Salem State University Rams. Abreu, the DH, has a hit in 3 trips. He's also walked, and he scored back in that 6th-run uprising. Guzman at 3rd, Norris at 2nd with 2 out. Kamak will go from the wind. Nice breaking pitch. At the knees, low and away. Nothing that Abreu wanted to deal with.
Yeah, tough for Abreu here. Trying to find something he can send out there a little bit.
There's the heat down the middle, and Kamak suddenly ahead 0-2. One more pitch to end it. And the Bobcats will have yet another rally in their back pockets. Bradley Kamak on the 0-2 offering. Just missed. No punch out. And it's 1-2. Purcell will look into the dugout, get the pitch selection, and relay it on. Kamak and his 1-2 offering to Abreu. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Bobcats win. Georgia College comes off the deck, trailing 6-2 in the 7th inning. Bobcats scored 3 in the bottom of the 7th and 5 more in the bottom of the 8th. And they get the big win. 5 punch outs, make it 6 punch outs for Bradley Kamak, who gets the win, and he picks up his 11th victory of the season. Kamak now 11-2 on the year, and he takes over the Peach Belt Conference lead for most wins this season. So congratulations to Bradley and the Bobcats. Georgia College 10 runs, 17 hits, no errors. They stranded 10 base runners, a small village left out there for the Bobcats. And for Winston-Salem State, 6 runs on 12 hits, 1 error. And they wound up stranding a pair there in the 9th inning to give them 6 men left on base. So a big win for the Bobcats as they rally once more, and they pick up their 37th win against 10 losses. They go to 20-2 here at the Kurtz in 2018. And Winston-Salem State drops to 30-18 on its season.
Loss is going to go to Tomas Goko, the reliever. He'll fall to 2-1. And you mentioned the victory already. Let's go Zaxby's player of the game for Bradley Kamak as well, as he did a great job keeping us in the contest and set the table for that offense to go ahead and get its come-from-behind victory. So that's your Zaxby's player of the game, brought to you by our friends at Zaxby's on North Columbia Street.
Al, appreciate it. Thanks for having me on once again. Thanks to Jason for punching all the buttons on our broadcast tonight and all the camera folks. Great effort as always. And tomorrow afternoon it'll be a 2 o'clock first pitch, but don't forget to join us a little early. We've got the Senior Days festivities. All the plaques going out.
Yep, we'll be doing that. It's going to be a long one, too. I think we got maybe 10 guys now if we're adding Womack. So, we'll get a nice early start on it. Got a couple of 4-year guys and a couple of 1-year guys and everything in between.
5-year guy, Mr. Purcell, yeah.
Yep, so, some guys that have done some great things here at Georgia College. Excited about being able to honor them. We're also going to have that ceremonial first pitch for everybody before the contest as well. Honor some extra folks that have been pretty crucial for these guys' lives. So it's been fun to watch them grow and watch them be excellent students and student athletes here at GC.
So the Bobcats come away with another come-from-behind win as they knock off the Rams of Winston-Salem State by a score of 10-6. Join us again tomorrow afternoon for Georgia College baseball as the final regular season games are going to be played out this weekend. I'm Scott McLeod. Thanks for joining us on the Bobcat Broadcast Network.